Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Check, 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 check. Is this thing on?
Live at 85.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up.
First Guy Omaha Radio. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All right. All right.
Check, 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 check.
Good. That's right. All systems go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. You're listening to a fresh edition of First Guy Omaha Radio. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. We got Buddi3 Da Gawd in the house. And we got Chad Chambers, Ghost listeners, radio listeners already giving me the thumbs up on the mix this morning, 6:30 Club. Appreciate you, Beth. Appreciate you tuning in on such a regular basis and letting us know how the music is flowing over there. And I see some people up early this morning as well. So thank you for joining us. Sue Kessler-Hagen gives us a happy Friday. It is Friday, isn't it? Friday, yeah. May 17th. Okay, cool. Amy Holmes in the house. Happy Friday. What's going on with you? How you doing?
Hey.
Facebook and YouTube working, so I appreciate that. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, do us a favor, share the show. Got as many people in as we can to have some discussion today. It is a Friday, May 17th, 2024. Very happy for the end of the week. How about you, buddy?
Man, yeah, I'm feeling that. Looks like Leia Keister is also feeling the same. Says happy Friday, yeah, yo.
That's a new one. All right.
All right. I think I had enough yays in there.
Yays.
Yay.
Pop says good Friday morning, mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops.
All right.
Yeah. How's it going? How y'all feeling this morning?
Yeah.
Yep. Heather Williams gives us a good morning. Appreciate you guys coming in early with the good mornings. It really makes the day get going. You know, you got to I feel like you got to be in a certain kind of headspace to tackle certain things when it's when it can be controversial or negative or something that you're going to disagree on with people or just heavy in general. You know what I mean? So I love the fact that I don't got to come in cold. I can come in and say hi to everybody. Everybody say hi back. We all know what we're here for. You know what I mean? Feels good.
Okay. Waking up together, I see you still wiping the crud out your eyes, man. He tired, boss.
Tired, boss.
Tired. He tired. But yeah, good morning, everybody. Doing the same. Thank you for waking up with us. You're on First Guy Omaha in the morning. You know, let us know how your morning is doing so far. You're on your morning commute. Where you going? What's the weather like?
Yeah. Heather Williams gives us a good morning. Judy Prinzer gives us a morning. Appreciate you guys coming in.
In the morning.
Man, I ran into Stuart Chittenden yesterday.
Stewie C.
Yeah, man. Getting down with his show. He still does lives. He's now on KIOS on Sunday mornings at 9:00 now too.
Yeah, man.
Show. So yeah, it was good running into him yesterday. Got to learn more about Nebraska Appleseed and kind of the stuff that they're doing over there, and talk to some of their officials and yeah, a lot of good work happening all around. Didn't know that Stewie C was on the board over there at Appleseed. So
really,
yeah. So I got an invite and I was like, yeah, let me go. We've been talking to them in the past. As a matter of fact, I think we were supposed to have them on the Mine and Soul days. So they've been around for a while. So yeah, man, lots of good connections being made and you know, seeing people do good work and seeing. I met a lot of Ghost listeners yesterday at that event.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, we see you and Monitoring Spirits. We know you there.
Marlon Harrison says, happy TGIF First Guy family. Appreciate you, brother Marlon. Appreciate you giving us the info on what's going on with the principal situation over there in North.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised. You know, Gene Haynes left some big shoes to fill.
yeah. Big shoes.
Man, huge.
So and now here we go again. Gotta find somebody else to fill them.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
yeah, appreciate you. Boost to the roots, Marlon Harrison, right?
Yep. Thank you.
High school correspondent. Rose Review says that there's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like the things are finally turning around, and I know we've got a long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. Ain't no stopping us now.
Ain't no stopping us now.
We on the move.
Hey.
First guy now. That's what's up. Wanda Lewis says, Good morning. Good morning to you. Pops Pops already calling him out. Matt McFadden and Whitehead. Yes. Rose be coming with the lyrics. So
Yeah, man.
it's always good to have a little song in the morning too. Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, a little jingle help us get going. Also want to give some mad love to Pops. He says I stayed up all night so I wouldn't miss the show.
Oh
But I
man.
will have many old man naps today. Hey, I don't blame you.
Sounds like a charmed life, Pops.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Catch a little first guy, and then it's a siesta fiesta for the rest of the day.
Love it. Yep. I never thought I'd be this excited about taking naps. Never thought. As
Hey, man.
bad as I used to fight them as a kid.
Man, I'm watching my children fight them like, hey, it's nap time. They're like, oh man, I don't like, hey, take it while you can.
I'm doing you a favor.
Right. I'm trying to help you out. I'm about to be knocked out with you.
Man. Good show coming up today. Extensive haps. Mad stuff going on in the city.
Man.
And not just May and June.
Lots of things are going.
Oh my gosh. We threatened to have an extensive house. We're gonna have to have one today for real.
Man.
And we also got a special guest coming in today. Lauren Martin is going to come in today and talk to us.
Yeah.
Many of you know her from being doing the Maha thing, and she's working for another organization now that's partnered with the library. This is our chance to get some art into the library. I can't wait to talk to her about this.
Amplify Arts doing the thing, man. So yeah, definitely excited about that. I was kind of reading through the program. Man, so if some artists are in our chat, you want to chime up on this one. This might be some coin available and some opportunity to get your work in the Central Library. Again, I know there's a lot of controversy around that, but I'm actually kind of excited.
Most definitely.
I'm excited.
I'm excited about today's show. We're gonna get it fired up. Another fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All of you, chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, Paul B, the Dove, Buddi3 Da Gawd.
Yeah.
Let's go. What up? Good morning. Once again, fresh edition on this Friday, May 17th, 2024. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
That's where we reach out, talk to you.
Yeah, man.
Or people we call our constituents, our co-hosts. We really appreciate everybody chiming in the chat. I see some names that aren't usually in this early in the morning. Celeste Butler is in the chat. Good morning. I'm so happy you joined us.
Yeah, especially on today. Speaking of the artists.
Right. She says, love and light to cover your day. So proud of First Sky and the work you do. And yes, NAPs are the sauce of life. Naps. I'm gonna find a good acronym for that, for NAPs. That's that. I'm gonna come up with something because we naps are. I can't even tell you. Like I wouldn't even be able to function unless I wasn't taking a siesta. Like it. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked. It happened for me like it happened overnight. Like I had all this energy, all of a sudden hit 50, and then I was like, I need to take a nap in the middle of the day. Yeah. One of them NAPs.
Yeah.
Miss Butler, we're gonna have a special guest, Lauren Martin, on Amplify Arts. I'm so happy that you came on today because we are really wanting to. We were talking about this representation that's going to be at this new branch of the public library. The main library branch on 72nd and Dodge, and this is what's happening. This is what's going on. This is a call for public art put on by Amplify Arts in Omaha Public Library. You have to enter, but you can be awarded. Budgets range from $5,000 to $100,000.
Yeah.
Visit omahacentrallibrary.org art/art for more info. But this is the chance to get this in this is going to be pretty legendary building here. This is going to be one of a kind in the country.
Yeah.
For this main library branch. So
look at it.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. I actually really can't wait until they get this up and running, man. It's gonna be state of the art. It's gonna be something else. So yes, this is happening, and I'm calling personally, even calling all the artists that I know, like, please get down on this.
Man,
You know what I'm saying. We want to have some representation inside, and we'll talk about the different kinds of arts that they're even calling for a little bit later in the show. But
definitely.
yeah, this is not just painting on the wall they're talking about here.
Some real art, man.
Yeah.
Multidisciplinarian.
Very much so. So can't wait to have her on. Please stick around for that so you can hear some of those things that she's talking about. Stephen Abraham in the chat says, we don't have enough African Americans that are teachers, dentists, doctors, or lawyers. We need to redevelop our people minds on what success looks like in each other.
Man, that might be like a whole hour, whole show right there. That's a real conversation.
That's
Yeah, but
real.
thank you for that, man. I definitely agree. We gotta, everybody can't be rappers and DJs and social media
True,
influencers.
but I will put this out there though. I don't think it's just about the dreams of our young folks. It's also about the opportunities that the young folks have.
Hmm.
How much money you make in one industry is not sometimes not comparable in others. You make
Yeah.
more money as an influencer than you can as a dentist. So what is success? You know what I mean?
So that's a good point. That's a good point.
Good question. Good thing to bring up though. Good thing to talk about. I think for sure. You're right. It could be a whole show talking about that.
Yeah.
Yep. Rose Review says hit the like button. Please do that. We're still looking to try to reach 500 on YouTube. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Spread the word. And hit that like button on YouTube. Appreciate it. Amy H. Dot in the house says, I wish you the very best cat naps today. And just pops.
He ain't the only one catnapping.
We established that we all nap around here.
This is a nap society.
The NAP Club.
Yeah.
Sissy Jean gives us a good morning, First Sky family and friends. Appreciate you. Amy Holmes says 50 and low energy is real. I mean, overnight, bro. Overnight. It feels overnight. I'm sure it wasn't, but it feels overnight.
I
That,
don't know. For
yeah.
some, it might be overnight. You sleep wrong, you pull something, and that's it. Slippery
Yeah.
slope.
That's what it is. That's the frustrating part to me is like, I didn't even do nothing. Why is this hurting? Why is it hurting now? So yeah, man. And what we were talking about before the show was I can't imagine Prince and Michael Jackson who taxed their bodies so bad since the age of being kids,
Man.
hitting splits and jumping off of stuff and practicing 8 hours a day. No wonder they was on painkillers and stuff towards in their 50s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Remember last year we went to the Funkadelic George Clinton show. He was sitting down half the thing. Like,
Right. And I think the only reason why he stood up was because he sat down too long. He had to get up. Even sitting down hurt George Clinton when he was on stage, bro.
gotta readjust.
Oh man, Stephen Abraham said naps. Now African people succeed. Thank you.
Okay.
The NAPs, baby.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh man. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Yeah, she she said I didn't intend to offend. No, it's cool. Just so wish us all happy naps.
Yeah.
This weekend. As we stated earlier, lots of haps going on in between the naps, and
Haps and naps.
that's what's happening. Haps and naps.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna have an extensive haps. Get your haps together and ready. But I'm pretty sure we, as many as we have, we got like 20 of them to talk about today. So we're going to try to spend a little time doing that, as we always say. And then we only have one guest today, so we got plenty of room to talk to Miss Martin about this call to art. So Butler says, I'm currently designing 2 new pieces with the library in mind. That's what I'm talking about.
Beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, how you all up and down 72nd. The library, Nebraska Furniture Mart.
Man.
Yeah, put you in a new crossroads situation.
A real presence.
Yeah.
Miss Butler also says, get you some sea moss for that low energy.
Yeah, man.
I've been on that sea moss, and maybe I'm getting the wrong kind or something. But yeah, and like I said, this is all new, so I'm just like noticing what's going on. There's a few reasons for that. Rest has been helping, big time. Taking naps, it's been helping for low energy. Also getting more active, getting out of this chair, sitting here looking at the screen for 12 hours a day don't help.
Nah, I don't help nobody.
As a matter of fact, Miss Butler is an inspiration to that too. I catch her sometimes outside with groups of people walking around, getting that energy in. So, Yeah, man, it's that time. I'm gonna be that old dude out there power walking, doing water aerobics.
Yeah, hey, cats in New York, they be doing the calisthenics, old heads,
I'm about to get
doing pull-ups in the park.
my Kendrick Lamar push up on.
Man, get your burpees up.
There you go. Rose Review says, was it Paul or Buddy that was sleeping during George
Hey,
Clinton?
hey.
Called him out. Buddy, you know what? I'm glad you reminded me about that. Because you sure did try to act like George Clinton was sitting in the chair while you was in there nodding off.
maybe that's why I was nodding off, because he was sitting down the whole time. I don't know.
You keep dilling and downing and can't stop napping. Dipping and
Hey,
dapping and
man.
can't stop napping. I love it. Black Dynamite in the house says, top of the morning, y'all. We made it to Friday. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, thanks, everybody, for joining us. Yeah,
Let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. A few things in the news.
Yeah. Again, Paul mentioned a lot of haps going on, and in between that, we do have a lot of topics to dive into, a few things to look out for. Of course, we're still tallying up and looking at the whole election results, so numbers are still coming in. There's some updated numbers to get into as of 13 hours ago. So we'll dive into that. Actually, a couple close races, especially in North Omaha, some things to look out for. Possibly even some recounts. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Also, DHHS is still chiming up. Of course, earlier this week, there was the Department of Justice Town Hall Forum looking at what's going on and trying to get information, insight into what's going on with the state's mental health services. And it looks like the Department of Health and Human Services is still chiming up. And actually, there's some other facilities, more facilities that's opening up that I do want to kind of let the people, know about. Again, we've talked about the Radius campus on the north side and a few other things happening on the north side. But there's several facilities open up along 72nd. So yeah, we'll talk about the mental health situation in Nebraska. Also, just the regular health situation. Actually, hopefully, Sister Amy Holmes is still in the chat because this is a conversation that I know Heart Ministries is a part of. Again, several doctors saying that dental coverage should be a part of Medicare and Medicaid, and it should be made available, more widely available to others. And yeah, this is not the most sexy conversation, but still a necessary conversation. I'm here in Atlanta seeing everybody get them chiclets in their mouth. Everybody getting these new teeth. Man, are you taking care of the teeth that you got? Do you really know about dental health?
And what is going on with the quality of these veneers? All of a sudden it went down, bro.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Especially T.I. son King. I don't know. Yeah.
Like some fake teeth in your mouth.
Yeah, it's a whole conversation. Oh, speaking of whole conversations, we're still talking about housing. HUD is chiming up on some things. There's actually some updates to some programs that might help with this whole OHA and housing situation that we've been talking about. So again, a lot of things to dive into today. As always, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat. As always, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B. What's the word, man?
And like we said a little earlier today, stay tuned. We got a special guest, Lauren Martin, coming through and Amplify Arts, representing Amplify Arts, and talking about this whole art call for art that's going to happen for the main branch library. If you've been driving around town and passing by 72nd and Dodge, you see all the steel beams going up. It's going to be a real deal building over there. So and expertly designed from what I saw on the library committee. The people, the architects came and presented and showed us some renderings. Woo, it's gonna be cold. Man. So for us to have some artwork in there, some representation in there, we definitely want to put that word out and to our community of artists and make sure we get some representation in there. And it's not just one kind of art they're calling for. We'll talk about the other things that might be filling that space up. That involves all the senses, not just your sight, but sound and all kinds of things. So. Yeah, we'll see it. Miss Gwen Easter in the chat. Good morning. She says, has Mr. Lee trial happened yet? Yes, it did. And he gave us a text yesterday and said they won. So success. We are going to set up for him to come back and talk about what happened there. But we got some good news yesterday about that. So shout out to Miss. And he's a man of few words. He just hit me with a text. It was like, we won. Success. Man. So we'll get the details when we have him on. But yeah, good news there for sure. Yeah, so appreciate that.
Thanks for asking.
Yep. Yeah. Let's go ahead and dive into some of the stories today. Again, thank you guys so much for contributing to Friends of First Sky Omaha. You guys are going even beyond just throwing articles in. You got some context with your
Hmm.
entries, your notes. You bring the receipts. You bring the screenshots. Like, yeah, I'm really happy with what's going on over there at Friends of First Sky Omaha. So thank you, and please keep contributing. We really appreciate that. You didn't miss anything, Miss Easter, yet. We haven't had them on yet to talk about. You talking about Miss the trial down there?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
it happened a little bit before I knew it was happening too. Like I got some, I think I understood something different as well, that the trial hadn't happened yet. But not only did it happen, they won. So can't beat
I
that.
don't. I would definitely, love to talk to him and get more context because, like you said, the message that he sent to us was kind of cryptic. Very very short. Because if I remember correctly, he said the hearing would be on the 20th, if I'm not mistaken, or like he said the 20 something.
That's what I was thinking too. That's why I feel like if I maybe I
Yeah,
misheard that, but it sounded like you heard the same thing.
yeah, I'm kind of feeling like again, OHA didn't want that jury smoke and they settled outside of court. So,
Mm, we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. I'm trying to see what actually happened with that, but it sounds like good news. So, yeah, and Amy H. Dot in the chat saying the same thing. She says, "I wonder if they made a deal to avoid trial." Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, again, we'll have to speak to the man himself to get the details to see exactly what happened. But it's looking good. It's looking good.
Yeah,
So.
success.
Yeah, man, success. So, speaking of that, let's go ahead and dive into some things. I guess we can start out with a little housing.
Okay.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a press release from HUD. Again, a situation that everybody's been looking at HUD. Shout out to Anthony Rogers Wright, a frequent chat chimer and political strategist from the Omaha area. Of course, campaign director, brother Dr. Cornell West. But as far as the OHA situation goes, he's definitely been one of the main people talking about a HUD receivership and looking at HUD stepping in and helping with this public housing and really general housing in the Omaha area. But it looks like there will be an olive branch coming from HUD, not quite the OHA receivership that people have been calling for, but a program that could definitely help with assisting in the housing situation.
Mm-hmm.
And this coming from the Biden Harris administration's Housing Supply Action Plan, which they committed to modernizing and streamlining their home program, and are also developing about 2 million units of housing is their goal. And it seems like, again, this new update will go towards that. This is rule changes to the Home Investment Partnership Program, which is a program that aids to both home ownership and also rental assistance, which again will definitely go towards helping those in a public housing situation. Under the home program, states, localities, and territories receive flexible block grants to provide down payment assistance on closing costs, which, man, could go a long way. Also, assistance in building new housing to own or rent. Also, the ability to rehab existing housing, and on a limited basis, provide tenant based rental assistance. HUD recently announced about $1.3 billion with a B, y'all, $1.3 billion for the fiscal years of 2024 to over 650 jurisdictions. This notice of proposed rulemaking is the first significant update in about 30 years to the home program. Again, these updates would improve the ability to participate. The ability of jurisdictions who are participating in the program to receive and implement funding more efficiently and effectively, making it easier for states and localities to use the home program to support low income renters, homeowners, and home buyers. So this is again a huge update, and some real assistance in the form of funds could be coming the way of again Omaha and Nebraska and really several areas across the state or across the nation. One of the other proposed rule changes, uh, if this does advance, does also include the Blueprint for Renters Bill of Rights, which again is huge in this whole OHA public housing, just in general housing situation. As we talked about here on the show and in past conversations and past episodes, the median income or the median price of houses is blossom and bloom to about $1 million. So again, a lot of people not able to afford that. At least what they can afford usually isn't the space that they need. So renting almost seems like a foregone conclusion for a lot of people. But what does that mean for your rights as a renter? The proposed changes to this tenant-based rental assistance will support low-income renters by creating a mandatory lease addendum with enhanced tenant protections, better definition of good cause for evictions in the home program, and reduce burdensome paperwork for tenants. So again, a lot of assistance for tenants coming out from this program, and yeah, definitely looking for more of this. Again, this is the Blueprint for Renters Bill of Rights, and also the Housing Supply Action Plan from the Biden-Harris administration.
Okay. What say you, chat? Let us know,
Yeah,
chat
yeah.
chimers. What do you think about this? I don't quite know what to think about it quite yet. To be
I'm
honest.
kind of curious. This is the first time I'm hearing of the home program. Again, I know a lot of a few chat chimers own their homes. A few are looking at owning and buying and purchasing property. Is this something that you're familiar with? Is this something that you've taken advantage of? Of course, when we're always talking about learning from the senators, there's always money out there. Like there's always resources. There's always money. There's always these types of programs. But again, how many in our community know about them? How many in our community are taking advantage of them? Yeah, so that's a big question of mine. Again, did we know about this? How many of you knew about the home program? How many of you are familiar with some of the certain resources made available by HUD, and how many of you have taken advantage of some of this stuff? Again, $1.3 billion. Hopefully, that goes a long way.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of them things. I'm not going to just make a statement to make a
Mm-hmm.
statement on it because I'm still don't even quite know what it means, what it is. I'm hearing it, but maybe it's just the language that they're using there in the article, or I'm
Yeah,
just not sure what it means. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that I feel like we might need to dig a little deeper into. Talk to some people that are associated with the HUD organization in town. Yeah, what does it mean? How can we how can it help? How can it help the ownership
I
that we
definitely think.
needs to have?
I definitely think the district people of HUD in the area.
You breaking
Yeah,
up?
and we,
You
we got
breaking
a
up?
few questions. We have on top of what resources are made available. Oh, looks like I've dropped out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you back.
Okay, okay. But yeah, we have a few things to talk to the HUD people about, especially in this district. Not just the OHA situation, but again, what resources are made available for HUD and what's being done for home ownership. Because again, as we talked about, it's not looking good. The market, we have multi national corporations buying up all the private family housing. Prices going up on housing. Again, what resources are out there in that regard? It looks like our brother Anthony Rogers Wright is not very excited about it. He says it's a joke, and just like that, window dressing with marijuana, an attempt to distract people from genocide. Joe Biden's complicity with the situation in Gaza, 1.3 billion is chump change. Meanwhile, Israel and Ukraine got 85 billion. It's a good point.
Shit,
It's a good
man.
point. In comparison, when you put it like that, it's a good point.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah, I appreciate your insights on that. Like I said, this something about the way this is being presented. I'm just not. I feel like it's a bunch of words.
Mm-hmm.
I see the numbers there. There's some money there. But yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I'm not seeing what does this mean for our local community. In the end, what is it going to mean? And even if it is chump change, like where's the chump change going? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, how can that chump change work for us? Yeah,
Well, I
just
mean,
not sure.
I will say I definitely get what you're saying as far as it's a bunch of language and kind of the wording of it. I mean, this is directly from HUD.
Hmm.
It's just a press release, so it's not necessarily an article made for people to read to understand. This is definitely just a press release.
Right.
But from this, I'm seeing assistance on down payment. Down payment assistance. I know what that means. I know what that means. Down payment assistance and closing costs. But again, how I think what you're getting at is the access. Who has access? How can people actually get it in their pockets? And what are the barriers to that access? Which is not made clear in this.
In on Friends of First Sky Omaha, this article was put in by Paul Philman. Appreciate that.
Big shout out.
Stephen Abraham made a comment, said this puts power back into the resident stakeholders' hands. So If Stephen Abraham, if you're in the chat still, I'd love for you to expound on that a little bit, just to just let us know how. Let us know how you see that happening. In general, on paper, it feels like, okay, yeah, this is put out here to. I guess the problem I'm having is we usually read these things and try to and kind of read between the lines on
Hmm.
like on some of these things, and this is kind of this statement was crafted in a way where it's saying something but doesn't feel
Not.
like it is all the way. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It made they put some numbers up there. Sounds good. Some billions or whatever to tackle affordable housing. They
Hmm.
put all the catchphrases in there and stuff, but just not sure. I'll have to read it through. This is also like I'm hearing this for the first time, so I'd have to read it through again and try to decipher what I'm thinking, what I'm understanding about it. So that's why I'm kind of putting it out there to the chat. If you guys have taken a look at this or read it, Anthony Rogers Wright has given us a his take on it. What's your take on it? If Stephen Abraham's in the chat, love to hear how you feel like it puts power back into the resident stakeholders' hands. I hear what you're saying, buddy. Help with down payments and stuff like that. Is it helping with market rate though? Is it helping with owner?
Mm.
You know, there's still so many questions. There's another part of this, I think, and some more questions. So, so yeah, this we'll get the ball rolling by talking about that. Kimmer's in the chat says I said good morning from Dallas, Texas. Good morning, good morning.
Hey,
She says I missed what happened. He's talking about a announcement that what is it
HUD
HUD
made. Hmm.
HUD made? Yep, about some
Yeah, some
assistance.
Yep, some updates to some home investment and ownership and rental assistance programs and tenant rights being updated. So definitely some things that we've been talking about in the Wood household. We've been talking about, especially tenants' rights, big issue. And again, the Biden Harris administration has this whole tenants bill of rights that they're pushing, and the housing plan. Again, they have this plan to build about 2 million units. But again, what does that actually mean? How does this plan come to fruition? Yeah, it's definitely worth looking more into, and have to have some HUD people come on to really kind
Yeah,
of ask them about a few things. So yeah, yeah,
yeah, they got to sell it to me. Tony Johnson in the chat says a lot taking place now for North Omaha. Need a cheat sheet on which community leader is taking the lead on what issue to help hold people accountable.
yeah.
I like that idea. I wonder who's taking the lead with the housing, with this situation with the housing. Who's in contact with HUD, and how is these billions going to get trickled down to us?
Man, that might be something to actually to speak to Senator McKinney about, because again, he's passed some legislation to hold OHA accountable. Housing and economic development has been kind of core to his
Mhm.
situation. So yeah,
Yep. Appreciate everybody's comments on that. Like I said, we'll continue to we can even probably leave it there and come back and
yeah,
look at it a little further and discuss it some more.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Actually, let's go ahead and pivot.
Yeah, but what I want to do first is pivot to the chat.
Okay.
There's a couple people in the chat that are bringing up a couple subjects that we can either address now or save for later as well. Miss Gwen Easter in the chat says, "By the way, I'm trying to help one of my first students who graduated from the GED program. She is now disabled and on dialysis. She needs a new apartment. If anyone out there knows of a landlord who has an apartment for rent, please let me know. She's moved out of her place today. If anyone would like to help her to get into a hotel until I can find her a new place to live, please reach out to me. Miss Easter's number is 402-706-1358, and I will put you in touch with her. She's a good lady and could use the help. Thank you all.
Okay.
So I
There you
appreciate
go.
you putting it out there. Yeah, if anybody can help, please get a hold of Miss Gwen Easter and see if we can help the sister out. Appreciate that. Also, Celeste Butler is asking, has anybody put deep thought into all the new construction in North Omaha around the airport and how the homeowner taxes in this area is going to go through the roof? From what we're understanding, it's already going through the roof. A
Man,
lot of
double,
homeowners are saying it's been up thousands of percent already.
double, triple.
Yeah. So yeah, we kind of off and on talk about this a lot, and it's something that I think we'll, as we get closer to the time that all this stuff's going to begin, we'll have to consider and talk about. I think also, all this push right now about property taxes, that especially that the governor has been
Man,
trying to work. Yeah, this is these are this has been in the discussion because of that, and I feel like That's one way that people are going to get pushed out of the neighborhoods is the property taxes will be too high to even continue on. So
Mm,
that's just one strategy, one thing. They might feel like they'll find a deal somewhere else and can get out from underneath that. But if Pillin is successful doing what he's trying to do, then maybe the property taxes will go lower, but maybe your cost of living in other areas is going to go up because he's not really like finding money for relief. He's just trying to shift money around. It seems like,
yeah.
and you got to keep it in circulation, especially with all this new construction happening. So yeah, give us your thoughts on that, Miss Butler. I'd love to hear what you feel about it. This is the reason why we're here is to talk to the people in the neighborhoods that these things are affecting,
Mm-hmm.
and so we'd love to hear from you on that.
Get the pulse of
Also,
the people.
mm-hmm. Rhea Vincent gives us a good morning. Appreciate you coming in.
Hey,
Tony Johnson says it works alongside other homeowners programs like FHB. Which thing does that?
you talking about the HUD situation?
HUD situation. He says it's been around since the '90s.
Yeah,
A little earlier in the chat.
talking about the home program is called.
Mm-hmm. Von Chapman, good morning. Says the timing of this new program is interesting. If it's anything like the DED monies, will it be delayed, deferred, and then denied for those who need it now?
Man. Well, as of right now, it's not even a foregone conclusion. There's still some language in this press release, like if it passes, if it goes through, So again, this is something to look out for, something to be made aware of. But I would definitely like for us to be ahead of things. Again, it seems too often when these types of programs come down the pipe, we're hearing about it after the fact and having to scramble to apply, and applying when there's only a month left or a week left in the application process and trying to figure out what it is. And yeah, it's better to kind of get ahead of these types of things. So hopefully it's not the same situation as the DED, but again, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Yeah, let's move on to another subject. Before we get on that, I think we have a little bit more housing to talk about. As a matter of fact, before we get there, though, just want to make sure that everybody knows that the funeral for Mr. Levi Blake is going to be happening today.
Man,
It's on Facebook Live. So if you have a Facebook account and you're on YouTube, definitely hit the Facebook account and be there at 11 o'clock. It's going to be Facebook Live Levi Blake funeral. You can put that in the question box there to call that up so that you can catch the live and give him his respects. Brother Levi Blake was found recently. His body found, which ended a pretty much what was a year-long search.
man, 7-8 months.
Yeah, and unfortunately he had passed away, and so his funeral will be today at 11 o'clock, and it'll be on Facebook Live. So just wanted to make sure that you get set up for that after the show. Make sure that we don't set a little. I have to set a little alarm for myself for everything now. So in order for me to make all the appointments.
Man,
So yeah. So just see if you can make your arrangements and do that. And we'll talk about that again closer to the end of the show when we do an extensive haps today, and also encouraging you to get your haps together for the weekend. Lots going on, and we're gonna have to spend a little bit of time talking about it. Not just this weekend, but the rest of May and June. Lots of things to mark your calendars down on, important events that are happening, and yeah, we'll be talking about it. So,
yeah.
as said, let's jump into another subject before we get to our guest. Buddy, what's next
Um,
on the agenda?
Well, just really quickly, Sister Wanda Lewis in the chat asking, "Do you know who's streaming his funeral?" And I believe Sherman might be.
Is
I
he?
think the family said Sherman will be streaming the funeral on social media, like Facebook and Twitter and things like that. So
Okay, cool.
maybe check out Brother Sherman Wells's page if you're not, already following him on Facebook. If you want to check that out. And then I want to echo what Sister Kimmer is saying: prayers for the family today, big time, big time, big time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But to kind of top off this housing conversation, just keep this thing moving along before we have our guests come on. This is actually a story that we talked about last episode, just briefly. But apparently, some chat chimers are in the Friends of First Sky, kind of feeling like there's some spin going on, and our style here. If there's some spin, we definitely want to talk about it and get to the bottom of it. Of course, talking about Habitat for Humanity and the partnership and the work that they're doing with Jesuit Academy again, down right off the deuce. Again, if you missed the story or need a reminder, Habitat for Humanity has teamed up with Jesuit Academy to actually to demolish a few houses that were close to the academy to make way for a new expansion to the Jesuit campus. Looks like they will be having some athletic facilities and some other things made available for their students. But again, some people in the chat maybe felt some kind of way. A few chat chimers on Friends of First Sky saying that, they felt like Habitat was putting a spin on things and maybe feeling like Habitat isn't really doing the work that they say or trying to portray that they're doing in the area. And of course, we're talking about housing, we're talking about resources, and especially in North and South Omaha. And yeah, I'm just kind of curious. Want to get a pulse of the people. That's a part of the reason why we're here. What are your thoughts on Habitat for Humanity, the work that they're doing? Not only will part of this project and news release that they're releasing, not only will they be, demoing these houses and teaming up with Jesuit Academy for this expansion, but apparently some of the parts and components of the demolition. Again, these houses are from the 1900s era, so some old 100-year, 100 plus old homes. And apparently there's some crown molding, some heavy pocket doors, some other things that will be actually available at the Habitat restores. If you're not familiar, there's several restores throughout the Omaha area where Habitat, just sells appliances, things like that. That these things will be going to. But again, just kind of curious, what are your feelings about Habitat for Humanity, the work that they're doing? Have you known anybody to live in a Habitat house? I'm honestly not even really familiar with how exactly that whole situation works, how long families get to live in a Habitat house once they move in. Is it, forever home situation? Is it transitional housing? Yeah, so just kind of curious on what your feelings of Habitat for Humanity and the work that they're doing in the community.
Yeah, that's a good question. Another one I want to put out to the chat as well. I don't have as much experience with them either. So let us know. Amy H. Dot says Habitat restores are getting more and more expensive. I do remember
Okay.
going to some of those restore stores and finding the things that we needed to repair housing. And yeah, at some point things started turning into like almost retail prices
Man,
on a few things. So
might as well go to Menards.
get the warranty on it.
Man.
So yeah, Heather Williams is echoing. She says, "Yes, the restore is way too expensive."
Hmm.
I do like the idea of the restore stores. People pulling stuff out of old construction, and kind of cleaning it up and reusing it. Otherwise, where is it going to go? Landfills or whatever. I
Yep.
think the theory behind it is cool, and I think it was also a place where you can get discounted stuff that way. But yeah, if it's going into turning into very expensive stuff, then what's the point there? Clarice
Hmm.
Jackson in the chat. Good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you. She says I would echo. It is very expensive, especially 108th Street.
Hmm.
Heather Williams says $500 for a used dirty couch. Ooh,
Mm-mm.
big. But he said, mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I mean, again, I used to go to the restores with Mama Guide. Like she does some, she did some updating on her properties, or kind of redid finished the basement and redid the bathroom, and just pet projects here and there. But yeah, from what y'all saying, I'm kind of getting like Goodwill vibes. Goodwill, they don't pay for nothing. They Goodwill get all this stuff and they want to sell it back to you. Yeah, yeah.
Tough.
Making yeah, it's a brilliant business model, but
And we're
yeah,
just talking about the store right now, but
yeah,
the actual programs of housing,
right, right.
who's benefited. I know that when I was over there on Spalding, there was a few Habitat houses that were being built around the corner. It seemed to me like there were people from our refugee brothers and sisters were recipients of some of those houses, and there was a few of them. I can name maybe 5 or 6 just right around my neighborhood that were being built by Habitat, and I didn't really know about the process and any of that. So, and I don't think I know anybody personally that has benefited there, but I know that Habitat's all around doing work everywhere. So there's got to be some folks in the chat or some ghost listeners that have had experiences with them, or even people that are associated with the organization, like Tony Johnson is saying. Tony Johnson says, "Bring Julian Young, okay, and Cynthia Gooch on the show." Did not
Hmm.
know that they were on the board. He says they're on the board, but not much is shared with the community.
Okay.
So we got a direct connection to Brother Young, so we can definitely ask him and bring him on the show and get some more information there.
Pastor Gary Ballard Jr. in the chat as well. With
Hey,
some
what's going on,
thoughts. Yeah,
Pastor
yeah.
Ballard?
How you doing, Pastor? He says they're used by city governments to gentrify black neighborhoods all across the U.S.
Oof.
Okay, okay.
Wow. Tony Johnson says, I think Angel Starks too, but may be wrong. Saw them at a meeting on refugee housing.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing too. The refugee housing. There's like I said, that's my experience. My experience is most people that I've seen move into a habitat a house have been refugees in my neighborhood. So I was thinking, okay, that's a great program to get some people some housing. So what is this? Is it working? Is it working for our neighborhoods? Love to hear more about your opinions of that. Sean McCarthy in the chat, good morning, says it's getting messed up when I can find shirts cheaper at Kohl's than at Goodwill.
Hey man, when you really stop and think about it, like, they ain't pay for none of this.
Yeah, tough. Appreciate all your comments. 7:45 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we do have a special guest waiting in the wings, so we will table this conversation and come back. I'd love to hear your thoughts here and on Friends of First Sky Omaha when we're not live. That's where the conversation happens. So yeah, let's keep on talking about this and getting down to the bottom of it. We'll definitely have some special guests on that can speak to what's going on at Habitat. And when we come back to it too, there's a WOWT piece that is a little bit they're talking a little bit like I don't know, real skeptical of their propaganda pieces these days now after what happened. So we'll see.
After the OHA story, huh? It's John Chapman too. So yeah,
And brother Chapman again on that one.
yeah.
Propaganda pieces. It's a trip. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and shift gears and talk about something more positive and uplifting. This is
Hey,
season 7. Title of the season is Love Supreme. We're all about coming with the artistry, coming with the love in order to really kind of make our situations better. So we have special guests in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Lauren Martin is joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
hello.
I'm good. That was a fun conversation to come into. I'm excited to join it.
Have you been down to the Habitat stores buying stuff and seeing the prices?
Restored prices getting out of hand.
That is funny, man. Everybody's like complaining about them restore prices for real. $500 for a dirty couch. Yep. Well, I appreciate it. It's been a long time since we talked. It's been a
I
while.
know, it's really good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. How you been?
Good. How about you?
Good. For those of you who don't know, I think around the time we met, you were at Maha, and we were at Mind and Soul Radio at the time, and we're looking at trying to do a booth there, and I don't think it ever came to, but we remember working with you and talking to you about it. You're very open to what we were doing at Mind and Soul, so we appreciate you being back here on the next iteration of that, which is First Sky Omaha. So,
Well, I appreciate everything you do in the community and bringing people together around important conversation. I think that you're filling an important role that hopefully there's more of, but y'all are making it happen. Thank you.
well,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Trying.
Well, for those of our chat chimers that don't know who you are, can you just introduce yourself for us, if you would?
For sure. My name's Lauren Martin, pronouns she, her. I am here on behalf of Amplify Arts this morning. I oversee partnerships with 2 amazing team members and just excited to be here. Thanks.
Very cool.
Yeah. Excited to have you. Actually, was kind of reading, the call for arts the call that you put out with the library, one of the partnerships that, of course, that
Yeah.
you're working on, the Central Library. But before we get into that, I'm kind of curious as far as like Amplify Arts. I've heard a lot about Amplify Arts. Know of a few of your projects and programs, but for those who aren't familiar, can you just kind of give a kind of an elevator pitch, a quick breakdown of what Amplify Arts is and the kind of work that you all do?
Yeah, for sure. Kind of as a background, Amplify just really believes in the power and value of artists. We want to support artists, particularly those individuals or collectives that are really working maybe toward more liberatory ideas, things that affect social good, social impact, bring people together. Not even social impact, just overall kind of like progress for our fellow humans. So we try to support artists with resources like funding, space, collective learning, and our partnerships are really an avenue to create more value and opportunity for artists, kind of create more hopefully equitable practices, more transparent practices, and just kind of make the ultimate goal is to make Omaha a place that we all are prouder to be part of because it's more inviting, more inclusive, uh, more fun.
Yeah, I heard that. More culture, more
Yeah.
culture is needed. So, yeah, I
Mhm.
appreciate that. Like I said, known you for a little while, so I know that you've been involved with stuff like Omaha Performing Arts, even here in Nebraska, which we really
Hey.
Go way
miss here.
back, yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is kind of right up your alley because you've been working in the arts community and stuff for a while. Have you worked with Amplify Arts with any of those other organizations that you were a part of back in the day?
Yeah, I feel really lucky to have kind of like, I mean, art creativity is the reason I'm still in Omaha. So anything I can do, I'm not an artist myself. So anything I can do to help support it and make it a place is kind of things I like to be part of. Um, when I was at Maha Festival, there was a group called Art Stock. I don't know, the
Oh,
people in
yeah.
the art
Yeah.
community or people in art nonprofits maybe specifically are pretty aware of it. But it was as far as I know, it was one of the first times that, at least for the nonprofit community, a lot of arts and culture organizations were brought together. There was work to really bring individual and collective artists into that role too, just because, naturally there's not a lot of platforms for that or places for that to happen. So Artstock no longer exists, but I was lucky to kind of interact with Amplify through that. And then with Maha Festival, we were always trying to find ways to kind of bring the community together and highlight it in different ways. And one of those took place on South 13th Street, I think in 2018 or 2019.
Mm.
I feel like post-pandemic, I can't remember dates, so I'm embarrassed by that. But anyway, so had some interaction with Amplify Arts, doing some programming through that too. I've always
Cool.
really admired the work.
Beautiful.
Natural
Beautiful.
progression there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it definitely sounds like you worked in a lot of areas as far as arts, and it's kind of interesting. You not being an artist yourself, it's always nice to see still people working to support and see the importance of art. I'm kind of curious. I'm just thinking about where Omaha is now. We
Mhm.
talked about several areas throughout the city that have been activated as art districts. Benson, the Jocelyn,
Yeah.
Castle situation. Of course, Jocelyn Museum is about to open up their expansion. Just from your perspective, where is Omaha as far as embracing the arts community and opportunities for artists in general?
That is such an important question and a great one. And it's actually just on a personal level why I'm so excited to be doing work with Amplify. I think
Mm,
that I've had this appreciation for arts and the understanding of how it brings people together. But through my roles with Here Nebraska, the Omaha Community Foundation, Saddle Creek Records, Maha, I've gotten a deeper understanding of the landscape and kind of influences at play in Omaha. And I think, as some of the things that you were talking about earlier, we have an incredibly philanthropic community. There is an outsized amount of wealth here for the size of city that Omaha is. And so
mhm,
there is a lot of opportunity and embrace for artists on what I don't mean in a like I'm going to call it a superficial level. And that's not saying it's not genuine. It's more of people are supporting one another.
Mm.
What we are lacking here is more systems of support that make
mm,
that support more sustainable. So it's not up to one person or a few people to say, you know what, I changed my mind. I don't like that, or we're not going to support that. Not suggesting finickiness here, but
mhm,
to understand that when processes and more democratic processes, honestly, when there's more insight into how things are happening in a lot of places, there's more municipal support for artists. There might be a percent for art program.
Mm.
There might be endowments. We have some of
mm,
those things. You mentioned the creative districts. That's actually a really incredible example of, at a state level, an investment and kind of like policy setting for how arts can be leveraged as economic drivers, which they very much are.
Mhm.
yep.
And I think there can be more of that. Maybe it doesn't always have to be at the policy level. With this call for art for the library, for example, it's an example of a practice that can be replicated where a lot of different people are given an opportunity. And that just isn't always the practice here. Largely in Omaha, it's if like, oh, I know someone, let me connect you with them, which is always great too. It's so hard. I
Mhm.
never want to paint this as like one thing is bad, but I think there are different things we can do that create more opportunity.
No,
Go ahead.
I think I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate you trying to be careful how you put it. But it's the reality. It's the reality. We're although we're not necessarily a nonprofit, we're still very closely related and connected to the nonprofit world, and we've seen it. It just, even if there are billions of dollars, and that's still a finite amount of numbers. It's not a bottomless pit of money. And sometimes things come up, and foundations have to pay for something else that they can't necessarily put as many resources as they may have want to in other things. We've seen many efforts kind of get haircuts, if you will, recently, from the nonprofit philanthropic arm.
Yeah,
So I'm definitely appreciative, which I didn't know that the whole arch district portion, that was a state or a city or municipal situation.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm very excited about these type of opportunities for artists to have opportunities to make money, to have a livable wage, and be able to do what it is that they do
for
as
sure.
artists. Which is, I want to dive into this arts call, but Paul, I know you got something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up what Tony Johnson is asking, because this is right along the lines of what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
He says, how likely is it for an artist to make livable income in Omaha these
Right.
days? I
Right.
know that you're explaining some of the philanthropic pieces of that. Is there any for-profit pieces? Is there any? Do you have examples of people that are actually working in art, making a living wage in art, and benefiting through the programs that Amplify Art does and other entities?
Yeah, that Tony's question, I appreciate it. I don't have a direct answer to it because the dynamics and the implications are wide ranging. I do know we work to be in relationship with artists, well, many artists throughout the community. We issue surveys and things like that. I do know the top two greatest needs are always more income and more affordable space, whether that
Mhm.
be practice space, studio space, performance space, and of course residence. So like all of that is interconnected. And I think that speaks to the fact that it is very difficult to make a living solely as an artist. And this isn't unique to Omaha. This is
Right.
wide range. We have Spotify, we have, and things that I'm myself, guilty of using. We
Mhm.
aren't trained as
AI.
a society to recognize the value, the time of labor,
Mhm.
the all of the different expertise and the hours of practice that go into any sort of art medium. And so that's more of how can we kind of create that understanding is actually a lot of the work that Amplify is doing,
Mm.
because it's not a straightforward scenario to make a
Mhm.
livable income as an artist, that's solely as an artist in Omaha.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. I'm here in Atlanta right now, so this is I live in Atlanta, and we talk a lot about Atlanta being, as far as film, the film industry, and how the city of Atlanta has really gravitated towards the film industry. There are tax incentives, and the state of Georgia actually has
Yeah.
really gravitated towards the film industry and arts industry. And I'm kind of curious, has Amplify Arts had the ear, or been in conversation with any elected officials? Has the city kind of chimed up, showing interest in supporting arts, or the state for that matter?
That's kind of what we're figuring out how to work toward. Right now, our advocacy is more oriented around just like community engagement. We've got a data project, a statewide data project underway. We're working in partnership with the Nebraska Cultural Endowment. Some of it is just kind of laying the groundwork of
Hmm.
establishing the facts. That doesn't always, change hearts and minds
Yeah.
necessarily, but building relationships and hopefully getting to that point where there could be something. And it's so interesting that you bring up film. I literally was just having a conversation about that yesterday, and it's been something where my understanding, and I don't know specifically in Georgia, but oftentimes there's a lot of permitting involved in other places where that is, so that taxes can be gained. Right now, Nebraska has, I think, none of that, and so it's a really
Yep.
idyllic place to do a lot of that work, but it's not top of mind for a
Hmm.
lot of people. And so, where we could be kind of like attracting a lot more talent and involvement in things like that, we just aren't right now because there's not the awareness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I was just thinking about when I first got in town. I was a part of some of the film organizations that were rallying to get tax breaks and things like that, and bring the industry here.
Mhm.
Alexander Payne shooting his movie here was also a catalyst for that, and getting to that point. And it's really interesting now to hear about all the different conversations that are going on about that. we had the senators on, Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Justin Wayne on every Monday, and they were just reflecting that the state probably will be out of money in a couple of years.
I'm just gonna say that.
And you know what I mean? So this would be a perfect opportunity for them to do some things that can bring different kinds of industries here. And I think the arts is for us. The arts is always the answer for that. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
I'm with you all
Yeah,
the way.
yeah. Big time, big time. So yeah, I definitely would love to see those conversations. But of course, we're here to talk about the library situation, which I do think that's a step in that direction. You know, it's a step in the
Absolutely.
right direction. Getting a public entity like the public library to chime up and really, you know, offer some real money. I mean, we're looking at $500,000 to $100,000 for artists to have a budget to create some things. So can you kind of break down what is this call for art, call for public art? And what does it entail? What are the details? How can people get down?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for showing that image too. So the call for artists is open and for art is open right now through June 9th. It's on the Omaha Central Library website, which is omahacentrallibrary.org/art, where there's a tab, an art tab that you can navigate to when you get there. This is really a call for any and all artists. The application itself, people will kind of get into it and see that it's oriented around three primary categories just to kind of set the stage. Freestanding art, which could be sculpture work, could be any interpretation of that. Wall hung work, again, there's so many different wide-ranging mediums. And then there are a couple opportunities, or there is a significant opportunity for some digital and sound work. There's kind of a calming station that has a screen that will play sound. And then all the opportunities, there's both interior and exterior placement opportunities. So the call right now is really asking artists to share about themselves, the work that they do. There's an artist statement question. There is work samples to be asked. And then we're asking for a project description. So this is just really a high-level dream, an understanding of artists' vision for the impact of this work within the Central Library. And then we are asking for an indication of a budget tier. There's 5 tiers that we offer that give fairly significant ranges depending on the type of work. This is just to help us kind of process. We know that this isn't kind of the final piece that people are proposing, but in order to evaluate and make ultimate decisions, we need that budget tier. And it's the high level guidelines are, this is uniquely for local artists, which we're defining as the 6-county metro area in Nebraska and Iowa. We are asking that applicants be 18 years or older. That doesn't limit. It just has to be, if it's a collective or a collaborative, one person needs to meet these guidelines. There's no Amplify Arts, we're working really hard to support individuals and groups with this application process. So any stage in your career or your practice that you might be in, we're really hopeful that this reaches a wide range of artists and people feel like this is for them and they can apply.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Beautiful. That was kind of actually a big question that I had in regards to just the diversity of artists. Definitely this being a central location for our library. You kind of think of just how diverse Omaha is. A lot of people kind of speak to how segregated Omaha feels, but if you actually look at it, it is a very diverse city. Actually, shout out to Kimber Snipes, one of our chat chimers and viewers. She always reminds us of how many different languages are actually spoken in the Omaha area. Over 100. And I am kind of curious. What is the conversation or what is the thought of making sure that our artists are diverse and there is a diverse cultural representation in the Central Library.
And that's something we can always do better at, honestly, trying to figure out how to organize and engage the resources. One of them, we're so appreciative to you all to help us spread the word. Right now, the application and some of the materials, as well as some promotion of the opportunity, is in Spanish. And then throughout the application process, we are working that way. That was more of an understanding of second to English Spanish. Spanish is the most frequently spoken language. Again, not addressing all by any means. Amplify Arts, part of the reason we're facilitating this call, we've got a history of working with artists, over 500 throughout the community. And so we communicated directly with those artists when the call opened to try to raise awareness. We also reached out to about 80 other organizations, agencies, businesses that have an arts component or an artist related component, specifically artists with disabilities, artists or agencies in all different parts of the Omaha area. The word of mouth and the really, the understanding of the engagement with this call is just super important. And so then by the time people might be seeing things on social media or whatever, hopefully there's like encouragement or an understanding of this might be an opportunity for me.
Yeah, hopefully. And hopefully this kind of reaches the far. I would love just personally. I'm thinking of I would love to see our Korean population represented and our South Sudanese brothers and sisters represented. And Paul was telling us that he's hearing about a Arab population kind of booming in the Omaha area. So
North
again,
Omaha specifically.
yeah. So again, we just love to see that variety displayed through this program. But I think there is an opportunity for that.
Us too. And if there's people listening or that understanding where there's questions about that, we want to work to make that possible too. So
Okay.
and I think, Paul, you maybe were one of the steering committee members when the library process was coming together. On the Omaha Central Library site, there's a lot of information about how consideration for this development came together. And I really encourage people to check that out. I think there was a lot of community input and kind of like seeking that diverse understanding that we have. The Omaha Central Library is intended to be for every, it's the city's library, the people's library, intended to be for everyone. And so trying to design a physical space that supports that, I know, is really important to all the project partners.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I was going to bring that up too. There's some questions in the chat, and they have to do with a little bit of some of the guidelines there. Rome's Reviews asking about nudity. Is this art that is there going to be a call for like art that is family friendly, or is it what'll be the criteria there for people who are coming up with ideas here?
Sure. So the library is a space for all generations, and definitely want it to be accessible. I can't speak directly to nudity. The ultimate creation of the art will be somewhat of a collaborative process. We want to know the artist's vision, their work, things like that. But then another cool part of kind of what this project stands for is the building is not created yet. It's actively going up on 72nd and Dodge right now. It will open in 2026. And so once the artists are selected, it will be kind of a collaborative process with the design team to find the right space that supports it. Consider, everything from lighting to maintenance to all of those things. And so depending on what the artist has proposed, if nudity is involved, there will be kind of a range of like, what does that entail? Because everything is so subjective, I think. So just to say no nudity, and because the application itself isn't asking for a direct project proposal, there isn't really the necessity of an artist to say, this is like, I'm proposing this image or whatever it may be.
So that leads us to what a lot of people are asking already. The final vote on this. Who's the committee that's voting? Will there be public input on who decides that's what's going to be there? How does that work?
Yeah, so there's a 4-phase review process. Amplify Arts is not part of the reviewers. We have part of it is arts professionals and experts from outside the Omaha area. Omaha can be a small community, and so it's helpful to kind of have initial review, just primarily of feasibility of the project to understand some of the initial breakdown. And then it's composed primarily of different project partners involved, and then community members as well that have an understanding of the library. This is more of, I guess, the way, there's no one way to set up a call for artists or a call for art. Some do have community voting components. This project will not entail that, but we are working to kind of keep the process and understanding for how the art is selected as transparent as possible. So as part of the application, the evaluation rubric that will be used through the process is included. We outlined the review steps, and then of course, we'll be excited to communicate the results of this process and kind of keep the community involved on the creation of art as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. I also see there are office hours as a part of this application process. Kind of what does that entail?
Yeah, for sure. We're just trying to support applicants or those considering applying as much as we can. We had an informational session earlier this month that was recorded and is now linked on the website. We've had a couple, or we had a session already. The virtual application office hours for May 23rd are full, but we do have an opportunity on the 30th coming up and can do more. This is just a 15-minute block for those who are thinking about applying to get any feedback, share ideas, whatever it might be, just some one-on-one dedicated time. Of course, we always encourage people reach out by email. We're happy to respond and engage however is helpful to artists. So support is not limited to these office hours. We just wanted to make sure that we had time blocked off to support artists and can add those as necessary too.
Okay.
So also, I'm seeing that the deadline is coming up June 9th.
Mhm.
That kind of we're cutting it close. That's a couple weeks. So a lot of people that may be trying to come up with ideas now with that application process, can it be an idea that you're bringing forth? Do you have to bring proof of concept yet? Can
Nope.
you be very early stages of just the idea, and that's what you apply to right?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking that. This is very high level. Primarily, we're getting an understanding for the artists. We are looking for an understanding. I saw Mara had a question, like understanding of the library, a connection to the library, an understanding of the artist, maybe like it's really trying to understand what's the artist's vision for the impact of their work in the library, knowing what the library is, that it's serving the community, the variety of people that will be interacting and coming through, knowing kind of like what inspired them. That's what this process is really looking to understand. And then just what the high level vision for, if physically how that manifests or whatever that is, that's what we're looking for. It's not proof of concept. Things like that are not necessary yet at this stage. Of course, we want to understand a history of work. So there are work samples that will be provided, but there's no specific medium. We encourage artists, if they work in a variety of mediums, they can speak to that. If they're saying, I can do a variety of things in this place, we want to know that. If they have a specific idea for something, we hope that they can speak in detail about what that is too.
Beautiful.
Okay. If you're just joining us, it's 8:11 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, that is. We're here with Lauren Martin, and she's representing Amplify Arts, and they have a partnership with the Omaha Library, Public Library. The main branch, as you know, is being built on 72nd in Dodge, and I'm anxious to hear about how I'm anxious to see about how to work with the artists that are being chosen, how they're going to work with the designers, and it kind of gets a built-in type of situation, which is really interesting.
Yeah,
But there's I'm sorry.
these are permanent. These
Right.
installations will be permanent.
Permanent installation. Awarded project budgets will range from 5,000 to 100,000. So big budgets here that is possible for the person. Is this going to be a multi-winner situation? Multiple people will win and be able to show their art there.
Yeah.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
And sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm like, yes. We don't know the exact number of awards that will be issued or project budgets that will be issued, but very roughly we're expecting at least in the range of 10 to 20.
Okay.
Okay, and while we're on that subject there, because there's budgets involved, Amplify Arts, are you the main funders? Where's the funding coming from for this
Good
contest?
question.
Sure. Another great question. So we're working with the variety of project partners that are helping make this library possible. So that includes Heritage Omaha, the Omaha Public Library, the Community Information Trust, and they have the Omaha Public Library Foundation. They have all been working to fundraise as well as work with the city to get the support required to develop the project. And so Amplify is just facilitating this. These are not the funds that we have raised, and all of that money, both public and private, is what is supporting this opportunity for artists.
Okay, that was my question because you guys aren't choosing the art and you're not paying the artist, so you're facilitating this. You're the ones that are getting the word out here, which is fortunate that we have you on here and can speak to different people in the scene as well. We have several
Hmm.
artists that are chat chimers and ghost listeners, and we've already kind of been spreading the word to them. And the feedback that I've gotten from the few artists that I've talked to are saying, "Oh yeah, I did see that, but I forgot about it. I should get back on applying for that." And so that's pretty cool too. A couple more questions before we let you get out of here. Amy H. Dot is asking, so how their vision and their work ties to the community and library's vision should be communicated. I like that. That's not a question, but that's a great statement there. She
I
says,
saw that too. I was so glad. That's exactly right. And that's, that's the artist to say too.
Hmm.
There's no prescriptive of what that is. That's what we're really excited to hear from the artists.
and it
Okay.
sounds like they were built into the project budget as well. So yeah, that's exactly what went down. So that's really interesting. I remember being on the library committee and hearing about the fact that this space was going to serve the whole community, and it was going to be spaces that you can just kind of chill out in. It's not just a library the way that you think of a library where you just go get books and sit down somewhere, but there's going to be art spaces,
Yeah.
interactive spaces, spaces for kids,
Calming stations.
calming stations, lots of
Yeah.
different areas in the library that's going to need different kinds of art with different kinds of genres, kids sections, all kinds of things. So really should, and I'm glad that it'll be open to not just one win or not just we don't know how many people will come into play here. So we'll continue to try to get that word out. And first things first, if the deadline is on the 9th, then people need to go ahead and apply. So we'll keep on
ASAP.
pushing that so they can, apply ASAP. And if you don't have a fully formed idea yet, that's why I was asking that. It sounds like you can put your kind of formed idea out there,
Hmm.
and your and your initial idea of what the budget might be for that, and be considered. So I think that I would love to learn more about the process of who gets chosen and how, and who's on who ends up being on those committees, and the people that are making those decisions. That might be something that we can address another time too. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, but this is sounding pretty good. Anything else about this situation that you're passionate about, that you're happy about being a part of this push and excited to see?
Well, I think you kind of spoke to it and it was touched on. I think Amy shared in the comments. This was built into the project budget. Um, I know this has been a big community conversation, understanding everything that's going into the library, and I really am excited about the fact that the art is part of the process. It's not an afterthought in this
Hmm.
sense. I
Hmm.
think that I'm really hopeful about possibly an example that this is setting for future projects, and also a model for, again, we're not saying that there's just one way to do a call for art or do a review process or any way. There's a lot of different ways we can do this, and I hope we have more opportunities to try them too,
Hmm.
because there will be an opportunity to like replicate this or try it again in the future. And so I'm really excited about that. I do appreciate you all spreading the word. June 9th is the deadline. We're anticipating the review process will take place throughout July and August, with selections being made in September. We'd love to come back and share more about the process. I would rather have artists on at that point too, and be sharing the excitement about that. We want to help spread the word, but this is really about creating more value and understanding for artists and their work in the community.
I think that'll be something that'll be fun to get, the artists who are selected throughout this process to come on and kind of share their work and excitement and their
Mhm,
ideas. Because I
mhm.
am, very excited to see what comes out of this, and hopefully, I do echo what you're saying as far as, hopefully there'll be more of this and more public entities, more city, entities getting involved and just supporting the arts, because again, we need it, we need it
Be so do.
in a real way. Also, before you get out of here, I did want to kind of present an idea, Kimra. Again, let me know what you're thinking about this. But I don't know if you're familiar, but we have Kimra Snipe in our chat, as she is the director of One Omaha. And I'm thinking that might be a good way to kind of get more diverse, corners of Omaha involved in this, and just aware of this program and this opportunity.
I
So,
know.
I
Kimra,
don't
I'm
know.
going to send you an email after this. We're in touch with Alex O'Hanlon a lot too. So, and just admire and appreciate all your work. So we'll
Okay,
absolutely be
okay.
in touch.
Okay, so great. Yeah, again, I didn't want to. It's just a thought that came to mind. I think
No,
this would be a
I
great
love this
partnership.
platform. This is so great.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Marlon Harris is asking about graphic designers. He asked that question before. That you're saying any kind of art, really, though, right?
Yeah, we want it all. Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
let him know, Brother Harrison.
Yeah.
Any kind of artist.
Apply.
Please do.
Appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, so good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks for everyone listening too. We appreciate it.
No problem. No
We'll talk
problem.
soon.
Best of luck.
Thanks. See you later.
Bye.
All right. Peace.
All right.
Dope.
Good old Lauren still doing the Lord's work in the arts world.
Yeah, man. I mean, as a couple of artists, man, we can get into the politics and things, but I'm excited about seeing Omaha just get more beautiful, man. Like it's nicer to go into spaces and see color and see art and see culture and see these are the types of things that make people want to stay in an area. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So
And anybody who's an artist knows that it all comes from the love. That's the reason why you even do art in the first place. So,
man,
and also, yeah, we chose this Love Supreme season name because of the fact that it came from teamwork makes the dream work was one season. The next season was Boots to the Roots. And now we're in this Love Supreme season. It's all because of that. It's all we're all trying to be warriors, art warriors to change things around here. And that's where it's going to happen. So you also have to keep on in your art as well. You also have to keep on expressing yourself as well. But you can also use that art and passion and love to make some change in our neighborhood. So that's what the theory behind the Love Supreme is all about. So I'm glad that we're having more. We're part of maybe helping get some permanent art happening in the city. And reaching out to some artists that maybe they're not able to reach, and hopefully have some representation. That's what it's all about. So appreciate her coming on. Appreciate you guys with your comments and questions. We're going to take a quick break and come back, jump into a few more things before we get to a very extensive haps today. So get your haps ready for that. Lots going on as far as speaking of arts. Lots happening this weekend and in the rest of this month and in June that we need to be marking some calendars on and so on and so forth. So we'll get to that. Coming up shortly. In the meantime, between time, we'll be right back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Stay tuned, y'all.
Don't touch nothing.
Nothing. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you, Chad Chambers, Ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate everybody coming in on this. Pops, I saw you posted something in Friends of First Sky Omaha. I see this symbol here, always there. That's a song title that takes me back to my earliest childhood. So I didn't see any link with it. Are you releasing this again? What's the deal? So, just putting it out there, Pops. If you saw this, Pops wrote some lyrics to a legendary track way back in the day. And it's been redone over the years, man. 90s, even in the 2000s. Maybe he's bringing it back. So don't want to spoil your release. If that's what you're doing, let us know. But this is the teaser that you're putting out there. I appreciate that. Can't wait to hear what you got going on. Pops is a legendary man. The more I go through tapes and archiving things like that, I'm realizing like what a prolific amount of work that he's done over the course of years.
Man.
And there's definitely some things that you've heard that you didn't know he was a part of.
Man.
Yeah, shout out to Pops.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Actually, I like that. Like that art right there. So yeah,
Yeah.
let us know if you got some new work coming, pops. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Right on, right on. Appreciate you guys. It's 8:23 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, appreciate you coming on in. Kimmer Snipes says, "Buddy practicing what he preaches and not reading the chat."
Yeah, I try to leave that to Paul when I can. You know.
Yeah. We pass it back and forth at times. Vaughn Chapman
Yeah,
in the
man.
chat is saying this will be a great program to get OPS and student artists involved for
Big
sure.
time. Big time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we want to see some young folks really thrive on this as well. Kimber Snipes says, if you ever want to go to a city that really amplifies art, go to Columbus, Ohio. Interesting.
Okay. I've never really been to Ohio. Okay.
That's not. I would have guessed 15 times before I got to Columbus, Ohio. If you want to see if talking about amplifying arts,
Man.
that's interesting. I'd love to hear more about that. Brother Pinions in the chat says, really appreciate you talking about the arts. Yes, I appreciate that too.
We artists, man. I appreciate being able to talk about the arts.
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
for sure. Pops says, thank you, son. Appreciate you. He says, there's more to come. Right on, Pops.
Nice. Okay, looking forward.
Yeah, drop us some things. Can't wait to talk about that. Might have to have Pops on and talk a little bit about his projects that are happening, man. Because
man, we got a legend in the chat. People might not even know.
That's real. That's real. God, I think we got a few legends in the chat, man.
Big time.
I really appreciate our chat. I brag about it all the time. Like I said, I went to a event yesterday, and a lot of the Ghost listeners were like, no, we've been checking it out. We don't really say much in the chat, but we listen, and you guys are doing some good stuff, and appreciate what you're doing. So, I'm feeling very good about that as well. I'm feeling like you guys allow us to go into what we do and what we are when it comes to talking about the arts. We definitely have developed a following of people that listen because they need the news and they want to talk about the politics of it, but from a little bit different perspective. We're not exactly sitting up here as political pundits. We're a couple of artists that are talking about how these things are affecting our life in the grand scheme. So, so that's what this is, and we appreciate everybody that's with that. Anthony Rogers Wright is another cat like that. As far as I'm concerned, he's a musician. Jam coming soon, but he's also very, very vocal and out here trying to make some change,
man,
which is what it's all about. He says Buffalo, New York, also an amazing city for arts and one of the blackest cities in the nation. You guys are blowing my mind with this information.
Yeah, you don't know about Buffalo, man?
I know nothing about Buffalo, New York, bro.
Yeah, I had a couple of buddies from school down at Florida A&M that were from the Buffalo kind of Buffalo upstate New York area. Yeah. Actually, I believe it's a couple of HBCUs in Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken.
Right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had some a relationship I had with somebody out in Rochester. So that's about as much upstate information as I got was around that area, and I know there's a lot of black folks in Rochester. So it might be the case to go check this out. I'm interested in going and checking out black cities that are heavy in art. Man. So this might be some trips you guys are setting up for me here. I want to see that. Yeah. Tony Johnson in the chat says great opportunity to also receive the NAACP Act So program. Don't know about that program. Love to hear about that. Says a lot of young artists came from that program in the 80s. Came from that program in the 80s and 90s. Okay. Act So program. Interesting. Brother Pena says my family is full of watercolor artists and that's what we do. Nice. That's one of my favorite mediums there. Watercolor. Okay. Yeah, watercolor is really, really a magical medium there. Kimber Snipes says, you see that the art in Columbus, as soon as you get to the airport, it's all the hotels and everywhere, and they refuse and they feature local artists. That's what's up.
Beautiful.
Anthony Rogers Wright, the blackest cities in the U.S. is in the north are Buffalo, Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago, and Milwaukee. Okay. I knew about Detroit and Chicago. I think I knew a little bit about Milwaukee since I moved to the Midwest. Did not know about Buffalo and don't know anything about Cleveland. So that's really interesting. Yep. Black Dynamite said jam session. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We'll have a First Sky Omaha jam session.
Yeah.
Musicians in the chat, bro.
Yeah, I'm on my way, y'all. I'm on my way.
Speaking of on our way, we're on our way to the haps because we got extensive haps coming up. So let's go ahead and dive into the rest of the stories before we get there. Buddy, what's next on the agenda?
Man, I do want to dive into this the election situation.
Cool.
Just tallying up the just real quick. And I did have a question to Sister Kimra. I did not see her name. I did not. I don't see a name on the list, Kimra. I know you're running for OPS school board. So kind of curious what is that? What are you looking like in your race, and why is your name not popping up?
It was something about the District 5 or something like that was the only something. I started to read a little bit about what was
Okay.
going on in the school district there. So yeah, Kimmer, if you can let us know, we'd love to know about that. So
Yeah. Because again, there are several races, and a few that might need a recount. So some very close races. I mean, you can almost count the difference on your hands.
mm,
But again, looking at some of these results, again, there are both partisan and nonpartisan races. For those of you who aren't familiar with the primaries, again, one candidate from each party advances in partisan races, and then the top two candidates in nonpartisan races, they move forward to the next general election. So as far as the Senate, of course, we will have Pete Ricketts versus Preston Love Jr. They are the both Democrat and Republican that'll be standing off. So again, it seems like a lot of the candidates that we've been kind of paying close attention to here on First Guy Omaha will be moving forward to the next stage. Of course, Tony Vargas, who we had on the show, will be moving forward. It looks like it will also be a standoff between Carol Blood and Mike Flood. Blood and Flood going at it in the general election. But of course, as the North Omaha races, uh, very close, very close. Those are actually some of the closest races. Again, looks like brother Senator Terrell McKinney and senior brother Ernie Chambers, very close. I think they're separated by less than 20 votes.
wow.
Of course, Ernie Chambers having the lead right now as of again the last tally about 13 hours ago. Again, only about 20 votes though, so very close race. And then also Ashley Spivey, who we also had on the show, she placed second. But again, that was only about 5 votes ahead of Tracy Hightower Hen. So
Henny.
again, I don't know what the exact requirements for recount or if it's that close, what will take place to decide who the ultimate winner is to move on to the next stage. But as it stands right now, looks like Ashley Spivey and Terrell McKinney both survive the primary and will make it to the general election.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Also, looking through this, we also had Clarice Dombeck, who was going for the Metro Area Transit Authority board. Again, the new entity, if you will, that will be overseeing a transit in the Omaha area. And it looks like she got second as well. So I do believe that she will be going to the primary election, going against David Levy for District 2 of the Metropolitan Transit Board. It looks like Bill King got last in that race. So I do not think that he will be advancing. But those are some of the races that we've been paying close attention to here on the north side. One of the also big observations I wanted to make is a lot of Republicans taking the lead on a lot of things. That's something also to be looking out for. But yeah, that kind of does it for our election results. Again, that's as of 13 hours ago. There are still some tallies being made. There are still, of course, possibly some recounts to be had. Again, 5 votes, 20 votes, very close races. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on this situation. But again, yeah, Sister Kimmer, if you have any insight onto why we're not seeing your name on that list, yeah, let us know.
Okay, there you go. Anthony Rogers right in the chat is saying the big news is also the shenanigans of the Nebraska NDP chairwoman Jane Cleave and her ego. Now she's going to arrange for a write-in candidate against Dan Osborne because he refused her and the party's endorsement. Interesting. This mijonte is how the Democrats operate and why people are leaving that party faster than we left the South during the Great Migration.
Yeah, I mean, and that also might, speak to what I just mentioned as far as Republicans taking the lead on a lot of races. Also, it is Nebraska. So.
I mean, yeah, the majority. When you look at the actual land mass, Malik Rogers in the chat is saying we need to start paying attention to candidates' social media posts and start sharing our thoughts. North Omaha is always missing from them unless pandering.
Okay.
Also, Rick Fulton in the chat, good morning, says Terrell McKinney should be given a second term. He is on the right track, learned a lot in 4 years, and deserves another term. And I predict he will get another term. Sorry, Ernie.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I personally, feel like kind of echo what a lot of people were saying. Like, I would have loved to see, and I kind of feel like we're splitting our votes here in North Omaha. But I would have loved to see, Terrell get the support and get some backing from Ernie Chambers and kind of get, have the advisor kind of counsel type relationship. But it does not seem like that would be the case.
Yeah. Kimmerer says, did y'all see what happened on the congressional floor last night during the committee hearing?
No.
Did not. Let us know what that is. Yeah, appreciate that. Molly Rogers says, not liking the vibe of post about voter turnout and the blame already being directed towards North Omaha. Interesting. You're getting that vibe from posts. Mama God in the chat. Good morning. Says the results prove your vote counts at every election. You ain't lying.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing I was thinking of. Of course, last episode we got into, voter turnout and what's the cause of it, and some people got a little heated. But my thoughts are, it doesn't quite make a lot of sense for the primary to be the lowest, because if you want your choice to be in the election in the general, you better make sure they make it through the primary. It kind of makes no sense to skip out on the primary hoping to vote for somebody and then they don't make it through the primary. They kind of needed your support to begin with. So yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll continue to discuss this. If anybody has any more insights, I don't know if Precious McKesson is listening. Let us know what your insights are on all these things. And yes, we would love to hear from you, Kimmer. On she says I didn't have a primary.
Okay, there you go. So are you not just there's no incumbent that you're going against? I'm kind of curious as to why.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Rogers Rice says more Marjorie Taylor Greene shenanigans last night. Nothing to see but the continued atrophy of the U.S. empire. What a joke,
man!
Wow, yeah, shenanigans. I guess no, I did not pay attention to any of that. It's probably my bad for not, but yeah, I'm definitely on some other stuff.
Yeah, we got some other work to do.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, it's you can't ignore it. I'm glad that we got people in the chat that are paying attention here and can give us the context on what it all means.
Mm-hmm.
Fall of the empire. But definitely thinking about what's going on locally here right now, especially with what just happened with this election. So definitely want to have some experts on in the next month or so, just to start talking about what this all means for what's going to happen in the general election. Mm-hmm. Who's going to be on that ballot and so on. And so, yeah, we need to keep with these conversations and maybe even talk to some of these candidates again about what their pivot moves are.
I mean, as I'm kind of curious, how are you feeling about, the primary you voted, the outcomes, or some of the people you voted, did they make it through the primary? How are you feeling?
Yeah. I'm not really sure, man, what I'm feeling and thinking about it quite yet.
Okay.
I need more information. So some of these really, like for instance, some of these really close races, Ernie Chambers, Senator Ernie Chambers, Senator Terrell McKinney. What does this mean for the generals? What is it if they five votes apart? What does that mean for making it through the primaries? I want more information on what these things mean. From scratch. Explain it to me like I'm a 3-year-old. Like give me the information here that I need in order to see like what's going to happen. Who is going to be on the ballot in the generals?
I mean, it's top two, so it's either going to be Terrell McKinney or Ernie Chambers.
Mm-hmm. It's probably both. Either or both of them will be there on the generals. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Again, the way the primary works, the top two vote getters in the primary make it to the next level, and they go head to head in the general. And from what it looks like, again, although it is close between those two, the real thing to look out for is if it remains that close in the general election, because if it's still that close in the general election, then there's going to be some questions and there might have to be a recount. And then there are going to be, possibly some extra steps. But as of right now, regardless, it's either going to be Senator Justin Wayne, Senator Terrell McKinney, or, former Senator Ernie Chambers that will take that seat. It's either of the two.
And is the count done? That's the other thing. We keep on going to try and find these definitive numbers, and we keep on getting the count as of now is. Are y'all
Right,
still
right,
counting? Y'all,
right.
are y'all still counting? What's happening?
Again,
What's yeah?
the way Omaha World Herald is putting it, these are the unofficial results, and this is updated as of 13 hours ago. So this is fairly up to date. But again, there are still more numbers coming in. There's still, absentee ballots and early votes and just a lot. There's still a few numbers rolling in. But I will go on a limb and say that these are kind of, you can almost guarantee that the top two vote getters will be remain as to what they are, except for again the district 13, which is
Okay.
Senator Wayne's former district, because it's it's still up to question who the second place will be. So it will either be Sister Ashley Vaughn, or it will be or Ashley Spivey, or it will be um I'm forgetting her name, but the
Well,
other
so
candidate,
it is because there it's the okay. I think I understand what you're talking about. Anthony
Jason
Rogers right in the
Allentown.
chat says they still need to tally the people who wrote in ceasefire for the federal elections. So that's what.
Mm.
So they're still tallying. This is he's talking about
Yeah,
the
it's
federal
unofficial.
elections. Yeah,
It's unofficial.
yeah. Kimber says the only people running for the race are me and Eric Servilian. She says, I'm going to send y'all a link to what happened. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Okay,
Can't wait to
talking
hear
about
about
on the
that.
floor.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Appreciate that very much. Like I said, this is ongoing. We'll have to continue. She says that it meant that we need to get more of our younger people out here voting. Yeah,
Big
that's
time.
big time. And like I said, the generals are coming up, and we got a lot to talk about before then. There's going to be much more rallying, obviously. So lots going on. We'll see. This is an ongoing conversation here too. So I appreciate you guys chiming in on this. Anthony Rogers Rice says they won't, and it's one of the reasons why Biden is going to lose in the fall. People are feeling like that's what's going on. Talking about that this is a message being sent. They need to pay attention to. Malik Rogers is saying.
Mm.
So there's still some things up in the air, and we had on these things, and we'll see. I think there was a lot of surprises, a lot of stuff we're still peeling back, and I appreciate you, buddy, digging in there to get the latest numbers. I was
Man.
hoping by today we'd have the final ones.
Nah, still, and Sister Cameron also, bringing up a point. She says I wrote in a lot of people laughing but very
Right.
serious. So the write-ins, how is
Same
that
here.
impacting the tally? Okay, so that makes sense as to why you're kind of feeling like I still don't know. So yeah, again, we'll see. The final tally isn't out. There you go. There you go. It's one of the names that you could have wrote in. So yeah. Again, we'll see. See how this works out.
Yes, we will. Let's go ahead and leave it there and jump into the haps. We want to spend a little bit of time before 9:00 hour here to jump into the haps. There are plenty haps.
Man,
So,
let's go.
ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump in.
What's the haps? What's happening? What's going down?
All right, it's time for the haps. You know what that is? It's time for us to talk about some things that's going on this weekend and this month, actually, in the next couple months.
Man.
For you to mark your calendars on, try to make sure that you participate and get down with. And it's time for you to let us know as well what you think is going on that we need to be paying attention to too. Is in any genre, when it comes to the arts, when it comes to anything political that's happening, what do we need to get out and do? What is happening around town? So that's what it's all about. Yeah, man, we're gonna jump into it. Anthony Rogers Wright is saying, watch Morehouse College this Sunday. I heard Biden's gonna be there.
Okay.
Says, you want to be there, buddy? It's gonna be lit.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard some reports on it now. There's a lot of cats on there. A lot of cats on there talking about, Biden is supposed to come inspire us, but I don't feel like that's what he's doing with us right now. And I'm just like, whoa, they chiming up already on this. So yeah, Morehouse is going down this weekend. So definitely check that out. That's gonna be a serious haps,
Man.
in a big way.
Okay.
But first, before we get going on this, I definitely want to remind everybody that the Levi Blake funeral is happening at 11 a.m. today. This is going to be live on Facebook, and let me go ahead and see if I can get that link for you real quick again too. Yeah, for those of you that are new to us, we have been talking about this brother all year long. He's been missing for a while, and they finally eventually found his body, and now they've laying him to rest. This is happening today, and so for everybody who has been instrumental in trying to look for him and find him and be support to the family, and all that. This is you know what the funeral is. This is the chapter where we can hopefully get some closure here and show some love to the family. So there's the link there. It's supposed to be starting up at 11 o'clock on Facebook. Love and prayers to the family during this time, and shout out to Levi Blake and his family.
Man.
So that's happening at 11 o'clock today, and link is in the chat. So go ahead and check that out, please, if you would. Appreciate that very much.
And also a reminder on that for those who can't make it, I do believe Brother Sherman Wells will be live streaming the service as well. So if you want to support that way.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I don't even know where to begin on all these things, man. There's so many things happening. Power of the public reaching out to OPPD. This is something that's happening at the Culture House Thursday, June 6th. Might want to mark your calendars for this. We've been talking about wanting to speak more to OPPD about some of the things that's going on. We did hear recently that our rates are going to be going up. So anytime that they're doing a reach out and we can go talk to them, might want to give them a piece of our mind on some of these things. And shout out to the Culture House for hosting this. This is June 6th at 5 p.m. Thursday, June 6th. Mark your calendars for that. Reaching out to OPPD. Hopefully there'll be some OPPD officials there that you can talk to. We'll see how this works out. But it is definitely, I'm glad somebody is hosting something to talk about what's going on with OPPD for real.
Man.
Yeah. Speaking of Culture House, they put out a little calendar of a lot of things that they got going on in May. We'll post this in Friends of First Sky Omaha. As you can see, there's a lot of open mics, Midwest poetics. There's some poetry things happening. Art battle is going on, and another open mic here. So the 18th is where we're at now. It's a candle making workshop that is happening 11 o'clock, and then also art battle that's going on after that. So art battle is something that is going off, man. May 18th, definitely get down. This is a this is a seriously growing. It's the city championships too. So it's going down. This is going down, man. May 18th, art battle. Shout out to Culture House for hosting these art battles. This is something that goes on all around the country.
Yep.
And the fact that we got it here in Omaha and that Culture House is the host, really dope.
One of the dopest art shows I've ever been to, man. Not just the artists, but just the way it's set up. You know, artists, as you see, sit in a circle. They get these certain prompts and certain challenges and certain time limit that they have to create this art. And, you know, there's food, there's drinks, there's music. It's a dope vibe. Please go check it out. Big shout out to Marcy and the Culture House for bringing this to the area. Dope event.
Met a lot of artists from all around Omaha that I would have never met.
Man.
They all kind of came together for this battle. So, yeah, really dope. Speaking of Culture House as well, Culture House is also doing a call for, come on back up, artwork.
Program instructors.
Act right. Is it working? Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Call for summer program instructors.
Go ahead and read. Can y'all see that? Because I can't even see it anymore.
That's all it says. It's a call for summer program instructors. Again, the Culture House has some summer programs, some activities, especially for the youths and the babies that they have going on. A lot of resources at the Culture House, man. A lot of, again, access to art making. I mean, they have a music studio. They have recording space. They have performing space. They have, T-shirt printing opportunities. There's a lot of programs, a lot of resources. Marcy even had like a film, production camp that he held for the youth last summer. So again, a lot of programs, a lot of things that you definitely want to get involved with.
So they're looking for people that can teach some of these things. Some of the subjects are video, audio, recording, writing workshops, animation. So if you are a purveyor of any of these kinds of arts and you want to teach, you want to help some of the youth learn some of these things, they're having a call for people to come and do that. So definitely check that out if you can. Appreciate everybody that is been a part of what they're doing.
Yeah, man.
Culture House, man, they need a lot of support. So with that, big time. Heather, let me see in the chat real quick. Just want to jump in. Heather Williams says, I've seen some of those art battles. Pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
art
man.
battles gets down for real. We can see it. I appreciate you guys letting me know. Yeah, I could not see any of that stuff for sure. Appreciate that. Gwen Easter is saying, so that is why OPPD is calling customers, asking them how they are doing as a company so they can use that data for their meeting. I appreciate you letting us know that. Yeah, they're doing some surveying, man. They're trying to get a pulse. So shout out to Culture House for hosting that. As you can see, Culture House right along the lines of what we talk about, man. It's a culture house. They are purveyors of art, music, and all these other things, but they also are ground zero when it comes to any kind of protesting situation going on, like in Freedom Summer. They also, they talk about the stuff that's going on in our lives, like having conversations with OPPD. It's got to be mixed. You can't be one or the other. When I was coming up, you were either an artist or you were a civics cat.
Got to be both.
Got to be both these days, for real. So shout out to everybody who's on that same tip.
Yeah.
I want to bring it.
Forums, all that.
June 1st, 7th annual prayer walk for Zachary Bear Hills. He was born October 29th. He died June 5th by the hands of the police, Omaha police. This is still a very controversial subject because Chief Smotter fired the cops that did this, and then but through pressure from other outside sources, those police were hired back.
Yeah.
And so now we've been doing this. Has been happening every year now for 7 years. Meet at the bus station at 2 p.m. Walk the same route that Zachary took to Speedy Mart 6003 Center Street for a vigil to and call out police brutality to indigenous people. So this is a protest march that now happens every year in his name. Zachary Bear Hills died at the hands of the police 7 years ago, and this is happening June the 1st in the afternoon, 2 to 6. So meet everybody at the Greyhound bus station, 1601 Jackson Street, and go on the annual prayer walk for Zachary Bear Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we know that we're working now a little bit with the land bank more. I just met some folks from Spark the other day at an event, and they talked more about what's going on here. Reignite to Unite Developer Symposium. Everybody's really, really excited about this symposium. And now I'm talking to more and more people about that. This symposium is something that is going to help you learn a little bit more about the process. I'm gonna try to pull some notes over here. Omaha Municipal Land Bank partners with Spark CDI will host the inaugural Reignite to Unite Omaha Developer Symposium presented by Wells Fargo on June 6th at Metropolitan Community College Institute for Culinary Arts. Symposium will encourage participants to play a proactive role in the transformation of formerly vacant and abandoned properties into community assets. This can, enough now. This can be anything. It can be some property that you leave open for urban farming. It could be a place, property that you add on to your property if it's next door. A place where you can build some housing. You can do some development, like Brother Don Curry did. So all kinds of things can happen here. Resources provided at the symposium will touch on the intersection of land activation, housing, and economic development. The one-stop shop feel of the event will encourage small-scale development that address our affordable housing demands, strengthen neighborhoods, and generates wealth. Specialized tracks and workshops during the symposium will immerse participants in hands-on learning activities that will result in actionable proposals that can be used to apply for land bank lots for future development. Lots of points here, lots of things that they're going to be doing, but that one stands out to me the most. They take you through the exercise. I've been through one of their exercises, and they walk you through, and you got full understanding of what it is that you're asking about. When we did it, they were using imaginary properties just to give us some scenarios. They're going to be using real properties this time, and when you get done, you'll have a real proposal. And if you're ready for that, you can submit that and be a part of taking back the land in our neighborhood. So I highly suggest you go check this out. Let me grab the Eventbrite link. I'll put that in the chat for you to get your tickets for this, but I highly encourage you to go check it out. This is one of many things that the land bank is now doing in order to try to satisfy some of the people speaking up about their process and what's been going on. Conversations from Miss Cheryl Weston, she was on their neck on some things in a big way, and we've also been very critical of them as well. So to go sit in a room where they're explaining their process and seeing Miss Cheryl Weston there and Kimra Snipes there and all these people that have been critical, going to understand and them trying to break some things down. They're making an effort, and that is all I needed to see was that effort and some transparency. So shout
Yeah.
out to the Land Bank for doing that. Shout out to Spark CDI for helping. And I would highly encourage you guys to go ahead and sign up for this and go check it out.
Goes a long way. Goes a long way. Also, to the land bank point, Brother Anthony Rogers Wright has a interesting point in the chat saying this can't be about wealth generation. It needs to be about cooperative benefits. With so many, brothers and sisters going without a home, without a roof over their head,
Yeah.
dire need of affordable housing, real housing that people can actually afford, not just affordable housing. This can definitely be an opportunity for cooperative benefits and kind of the community helping each other, helping itself. So yeah.
Yep.
No money grabs.
Yeah, appreciate that very much. Again, we're in the middle of the haps. Let us know about haps that you have, anything coming up this weekend that you think is very important. Lots of stuff to still kind of go through here. I definitely want to do that. First of all, shout out to Drunk Ship Coffee for sponsoring us, sponsoring the show, and some of our social media sponsors as well. Us, drunkshipcoffee.com. Shout out to the winners. You should have your coffee by now, and let us know what you think of it. Definitely give them some feedback and get into the habit, man. This is a family-owned, black-owned coffee company out of California. The family's getting down with this. They source the beans from one farm in Ethiopia, and we found out that is the birthplace of coffee. The more research we're doing on these types of things, so and they ship it to you roasted the right way. For those of us that have been drinking coffee with really, really dark beans, they're actually pretty over roasted. And didn't really understand that too much until we started learning more about this as well. So they have the proper amount of roasting in order to get the best flavor out of the coffees. Definitely check them out and let us know winners if you got your bags. Appreciate that very much.
Actually, early in the chat, I did see Miss Heather Williams, one of the winners. She did chime up saying thanks for the bag, saying that she really enjoys her coffee. So yeah, thank you for participating in that whole survey and contest. And hopefully you continue enjoying your coffee.
Yeah, sorry I missed that. I appreciate the kind words on that one for sure. Shout out to them. We will be doing some more of those kinds of contests down the way. And mostly the reason why is we're trying to collect email addresses. We've been preaching this for a while. The direct conversation, the direct information back and forth is really where things need to be at. So clean your email boxes out and get ready for the newsletters.
Man,
They're going to start coming so we can speak directly. I have this whole kind of like reject the algorithm, sign up to the newsletter type of campaign going on right now. So if you're interested in that, hit us up at firstsky.omaha@gmail.com. Drop your email address, and we will start up. We're firing up the newsletters after our June event, which by the way, we need to go ahead and let people know about that one too. Lynn, mark your calendars. Buddy will be in town. That's what's going down. We're going to be have a booth in Benson on Military. This is for the first Friday that's happening June the 7th. We're going to be out there kicking it, having a good time. First Sky Omaha team will be in Benson celebrating the end of 7 seasons of First Sky Omaha in the morning. And we will not be starting these seasons back up in the way that we did it in the past. We're making some major changes. We're basically starting back to one. This is all going to be explained in the next wave, which is what this campaign is called. So if you come out and check us out, have some conversations, we would love to meet you, especially chat chimers that we are talking to on a regular basis. Love to meet you face to face and tell you about the next wave of First Sky Omaha that's going to be firing up in July of July 15th, 2024. So yeah, come and check us out. And we got some other announcements we'll be making there on June the 7th as well. Some other drops. Can't wait to share them with you. But let's all try to meet in person. Speaking of meeting in person, I love what you guys were talking about earlier. I was looking for it. I can't find it anymore. But Anthony Rogers Wright suggested the cookout. Where is this? There he is. He said First Guy jam session and cookout. Actually, we would just call the jam session the cookout. Will you be invited to the cookout? because I'm with it. I'm with it. Well, we tripping. Why ain't we doing this already? I'm with it. I am with it. Brother Pena says check out his uncle's art. Okay.
Okay.
We'll definitely see that. Also, Kimra said something too about. She says I found out that my biological father was an artist, which makes sense. I can actually draw. Did not know you can draw. Did not know. Would love to see your drawings as well. So
man, that's dope.
That's really dope. Yeah, appreciate that those ideas, and we will definitely consider them. We definitely need to have a jam session. Definitely, we do the Chat Chimers kickbacks, and we'll be talking about that coming up as well. These Chat Chimer kickbacks that we have that are happening. We actually can make some announcements about that if you come out June 7th and see if there's the booth. Then we'll figure out what else we're doing while Buddy's in town, because I definitely want to put this jam session together for real.
Man, yeah.
Too many musicians in the chats.
I had to bring my keyboard. Get down.
Rick can bring that electric flute. Bring that electric flute out, man.
Get my Andre 3000 on.
This is happening tomorrow, the 18th, over at the Vincent Theater. The Disability Plays. This has been going on for a while. They're in conjunction with a famous theater out in New York as well. This is something that they've been working on for a while, and they finally got it going. Theater for All presents the Disability Plays. Definitely check this out. Get some more information at bensontheater.org. And yeah, this has been something that's been in the works for about a year and a half. So you definitely want to get some more information on this and check this out for sure. These are plays and performances that are happening with people with other abilities. And Theater for All. This is something that connects us with the theater world out in New York in a big way. So shout out to Benson Theater for putting all the work in on getting this together. Big time.
Big time.
Speaking of big time, Dr. Umar is coming back to talk about the Union of the African Diaspora. This is Black Agenda Alliance. They present the King Kong Consciousness. Dr. Umar will be in town talking at the Pan-African Juneteenth kickoff, Saturday, June 1st, Assembly of the Saints. We've been hearing a lot about this building a lot. I hope you guys have been going over there checking it out. You don't got to go to a church service to check out the building. Go check out the building. There's lots going on over there. We talked about it before. Podcast studios. There's a gym in there. There's a bistro, cafeteria section, barbershop. It goes on and on. Something's heavy for the community. 4224 North 24th Street, right there on 24th. You pass it all the time if you're down in that area. And sometimes you don't know what's in this building, but there's lots in this building. You definitely need to go check it out. And a good time to do that will be right here. They put the Cash App on. We'll put this flyer in Friends of First Sky Omaha so you can scan to register to come through and donate to the cause as well. They put both the Cash App and the registration codes on the flyer here. We'll put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha. You can hit that up. You can always go to Black Agenda Alliance on the Facebook page and get some more information there as well. But yes, do it soon. Dr. Umar sells out when he comes out here. It's been proven. Man. So yeah, shout out to them for that. And we will hopefully be able to talk to Brother Kasim this Monday. A little bit more about this coming up as well. So appreciate that. I keep on jumping back and forth to see if there's anybody putting any haps in the chat.
No, I'm keeping an eye on the chat. I'll let you know.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Cool. A couple more things. I know it's 9:01 right now. We're past the agreed upon time of stopping, but I hope you hang with us just a few more minutes so that we can talk about some very important things that are coming up. And one of the very important things that's happening is it's Malcolm X's celebration coming up here. It's a celebration. Yeah, man. Nebraska Hall of Fame Commission is happening on May 22nd, 2024. So shout out to Malcolm X Memorial Foundation and everybody who put in the work to try to get him in the Hall of Fame. And really, this is coming up. We're finally going to be able to celebrate this. His 99th birthday is coming up, which is a trip.
Yeah,
Sunday, yep. So a couple of dates to remember here. May 19th, Sunday dinner. You might want to go to malcolmxfoundation.org and get your tickets for that. And also May 22nd is where the Hall of Fame induction is happening. So again, shout out to Malcolm X. This is the time of the year that we recognize him. And 99. He'd be 99 this year. Man. Trip. Hope they're going to do something big for the 100th birthday next year, for real.
Man, the centennial.
Right on. Of course, we had Miss Elijah on the other day to talk about Juneteenth Joy Fest. Can't get out of here without talking about this because the legendary Terry, is Buddy likes to call him. Terrence Martin is in the house and he's going to be coming on through. and performing at Joy Fest. So I really appreciate that. I want to learn more about some of these other artists that she has on the flyer here. I know about Jay Crumb. Jay Crumb gets down. He's one of my favorite artists out of Omaha as well. So I want to learn about the rest of them, but the news is too exciting. Legendary Terry gonna be out here doing it big with the Joy Fest. I cannot wait for this show. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. And yeah, Read Philosophy, Eddie North, definitely some dope artists. I'm kind of familiar with them. Some
Cool.
DJs too, El Ness, Crab Rangucci. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Yeah, man.
We're gonna get down on that. Also, something coming up too on the 25th. Nate Bray, which is actually a cousin of mine, family member.
Okay.
And the Soul Supremes, man, holding down North Omaha sound in a big way. They're gonna be at the Jewel. You know, the Jewel reopened. So Jewel's it's happening Saturday the 25th. This is coming up so what is it, this Saturday? No, next Saturday. Definitely check them out at the Jewel. As a matter of fact, I think there's a show even before that. Yeah, 18th. Big Wade Trio is going to be. I can't wait to see this variation of Big Wade's band.
Yeah. So it's not the Black Swan Theory. It's something different.
It's the trio that's happening tomorrow night. If you happen to be in the Capital District or downtown, you might want to stop through the new Jewel and check them out. 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. The Big Wade Trio. Big Wade is if you don't know who he is, what's wrong with you? That's the dude.
What's wrong with you? Man.
That's the dude. Yeah, appreciate that very much. So shout out to him and the Jewel doing the good work. Don't forget the farmers markets are up and running now. They're going off. Go get your fresh produce and all that good stuff. This is the official farmers markets. If anybody has any information on the farmers markets that's going on in North Omaha specifically that are not connected to the official farmers market, let us know. I think I saw a couple things on that. So if there's any more information on that and you have it, put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We appreciate that very much. And of course, no more empty pots now over there at the Highlander Accelerator. Has their store open on Friday. They're selling fresh produce out of there on a regular basis as well. And you can also talk to them about getting some more stuff happening too. So shout out to No More Empty Pots for filling a void, big void, and having a semblance of a grocery store over there, man. You can actually go buy some actual items. And right now they're open to Friday. They're looking for volunteers so they can open more days during the week. So if you're interested in that, please check them out as well. No More Empty Pots. Getting down, doing the thing.
Man, yeah.
Appreciate
Big shout out. Yeah.
Yep. Finesse 2 times is going to be in the house, man. This is Saturday. Oh, wait a minute. Did we miss this already? May 11th.
Yeah, that was last Saturday.
Last Saturday. Missed it. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I did not go to that, so missed that one. This is the one I was actually looking for right here. June 16th. The comedy show is happening Sunday. Oh, if you guys went to that Finesse 2 times, let me know how it went. Let me know how that show went down. Some more will be in.
Just I saw the video of Finesse and Bill King standing out there.
Oh, I did see that. That's right. Bill King, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Bill King. Boston,
you guys still checking out the morning show? He changed locations. He got a different location going on now. We've been talking about that. I think he's making some changes over there in 95.7 The Boss. We'll have to. We've been wanting to have him on, but he's always got a show going when we got one going. So. We'll find a way to get Brother King on, and so we can talk about some of the future collaborations that we got coming and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, shout out to him who's doing a celebration of fatherhood that he does every year. This year it'll be a comedy show at the Admiral. That's 2234 North 13th Street, South 13th Street in Omaha. That's the old Sokol Auditorium. So go check that out. You can get your tickets at etix.com. But yeah, some more is going to come on through. Comedy legend. Get down with the comedy show, and I'll also bring in some special guests. So come to the Father's Day Fatherhood Show, celebration of fatherhood show. The 95.7 The Boss is putting down, and get your tickets now. Again, go to etix.com and look for some more comedy show that's happening on June 16th at 7 o'clock.
There you go. Man, finally somebody doing something for the fathers, Everybody always go all out for Mother's Day.
This is true. You cannot deny that. So this is one I was looking for too. Kubatana is happening, coming together to celebrate African culture. This is happening tomorrow at 5 o'clock as well at 6915 Cass Street in Omaha, Nebraska. This is brought to you by the African Culture Connection. So shout out to them. Yeah, 6 nations coming together to celebrate. That's what I'm talking about.
Got Senegal, Zimbabwe, Guinea, Togo,
Good deal. Yeah,
Benin, Nigeria. Okay.
man, 6 nations coming together to celebrate. All I can say, the food gonna be good.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Get you some of that Niger rice jollof.
Man, come on, man. My mouth watering about it already. See what happens?
Yeah.
Woo. I appreciate that everybody who's stuck with us here past 9 o'clock in order to get
Thank
some
you.
of this information and has getting ready to leave a big one out. June 12th. Look, y'all.
Grammy award winning.
Do yourself a favor and get you some tickets to the show right here. Get you some tickets to this show right here. If you think vocalism and music and jazz and anything is dead,
Nah.
this young lady right here. This young lady right here, killing the game. She's gonna be one of them. You're gonna be saying her name along with Ella Fitzgerald and everybody else, bro.
Yeah, man. She got the chops. She's got the chops.
Yeah, bad. Check her out for sure. Holland at the Holland. This is happening. Omaha Performing Arts in general has a series of things coming out. Some hip hop lab stuff. This show here, Samara Joy. There's a couple other shows coming up too that are going to be very interesting that they're putting out. Go to omahaperformingarts.com or .org and check them out and see what they got coming, because they really been reaching. I don't know who they got out there booking stuff and having all this cultural stuff happen, but they're killing the game over there right now. So
Man,
shout out to them.
Got some black folk out there. Shout out to Aaron Gregory, who's been helping out. I know a couple folks over there, man. So yeah, shout out to but OPA, they've been a partner of ours for quite some time, man. They've been doing the thing. Yeah, they get down.
Elijah, as a matter of fact, over at joyfest.com has an opportunity to have some free tickets to that show as well. So shout out to Omaha Performing Arts working with local folks like us to get the word out on some of these things. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
There's a few haps in the chat as well. So
shout
out to y'all. Sister Heather Williams said Supernova's Omaha's pro volleyball team is playing in the championship on Saturday night. Okay, support if you want to go out and see some sports, some sporting events. I know volleyball in particular is huge in the Omaha area. Of course, Creighton and UNL, they always compete very well in volleyball. So yeah, support. Also, Malik Rogers is saying May 20th at 2 p.m. Is the State of the City address by the mayor. So if you want to see Mean Gene speaking, saying some things.
Which city she gonna be speaking? No.
Where's she gonna be at?
Speaking on the state of the city from Baltimore, Maryland. No.
Right.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Appreciate that. It'd be interesting. We would definitely have some things to discuss after that speech. So yeah you're right.
See what she has to say about what.
Most def. Last but not least, of course, it's going down, man. Freedom Tainment is bringing it this summer again at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation grounds, June 15th. Of course, they're going to have something for the kids like all day that day. It's a celebration of Juneteenth. This is a flyer though for the concert that's happening later on that night, man. They're bringing Joe, they bringing Case, and of course, Angeline Time is going to come and steal the show from both of them cats.
Man. Yeah, it happens every time.
Happens every time. They don't even want to go on. Just like, man, no, we ain't going on after that.
Yeah. Yeah, they get down.
Hey, bro, Anjali, Anjali is one of my favorite artists of all time. You talking about somebody that puts on a show. You talking about somebody that will wow you with the vocal in like the old school wow. She had you screaming, throwing your drawers up on the stage, bro.
Man.
They bad.
Yeah. She kind of reminds me of like Fantasia when she started throwing the shoes off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it gets. Like, it get real on that stage.
And I feel like Anjali be holding back. I be feeling like she hit you with something. You'd be like, oh, and she looking like yeah, I got a lot more where that came from, bro. Killing the game. The game.
Hey, timeless indeed, man. Shout out to Anjali and the crew, man. They get down.
Anjali don't know, but I be peeping how she be working that crowd. She be looking around saying, yeah, I ain't getting the reaction out of them quite yet. Let me throw this on them real quick. Tear it up every time. So yeah, as you can see, we done more talking about them than Joe.
Yeah.
But Brooke says she loved Joe and Case.
Okay.
Shout out to Calvin Williams, who is behind Freedomtainment, White Rhino Productions. Put some scientific calculation in on who the public would like around here. We were just talking about it ourselves.
Yeah.
We have no idea what y'all listen to, and we talk to y'all multiple times a week. This brother has come and done some actual research to find out who y'all want to see here. So there you go. There's Brooke right now saying she loves Joe and Case.
Okay.
That's what's up.
They get down.
You looking forward to anything coming up, buddy?
Oh yeah, all of that, man. Definitely looking forward. Again, that day in particular is going to be a jam-packed day. Talking about June 15th. Again, a lot of just Juneteenth activities happening. So again, I'm excited about that. Of course, excited to see Joy Fest, Legendary Terry getting down. But yeah, I'm just excited to be in the city, man. Again, it's a good time of year. The weather is going to be beautiful. The energy is going to be high, man. So I'm excited about that in general. And looking forward to seeing all of you again. Mark your calendars, save the date. We'll be out there at the Benson First Fridays on July or June 7th. And yeah. So come, speak to us.
Yeah,
cop some merch, do some things.
Please do. We're gonna get out of here. Cheers to you for allowing us to stay past this. Cheers. Salud.
Mazel tov.
Buddy, you got some final words for the people?
Yeah, again, big shout out to our guest, Miss Lauren Martin of Amplify Arts. Actually, Brooke, I don't know if you caught that conversation, but I know you're an artist. So again, we're letting all our artist friends know there's an opportunity to get some permanent installments in the Central Library, located right there on 72nd and Dodge. Again, the application is open until July, I believe, or no, June 9th. Until June 9th, so it's right around the corner. But again, if you have some ideas, definitely go ahead and let them know, man. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. There is some opportunities, and got opportunity to get it paid for as well. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, other than that, big shout out to all the chat chimers, letting your mind be free, letting your voice be heard as well. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. And catch the same time, same place. Next week should be very exciting, man. I'm looking forward to next week. Of course, we have a national guest that we booked for next Wednesday, diving into the whole Cop City situation, and may even begin to update us for what Brother Anthony Rogers Wright is telling us. Some other things might be happening down here in the Atlanta area at college campuses. So again, definitely looking forward to speaking to Sister Shar Bates to give us some updates on some reports from the ground, some of the protests going down both here in Atlanta and across the nation, man. So looking forward to that next week. In the meantime, between time, y'all take care of yourselves, love on each other, check on your loved ones. And without further ado, Paul B, take it away, man.
Man, we're also going to be having Andrew Joy Pearson coming on next week too with some healing vibes. Yeah, bringing the healing vibes. So she's always a great guest. She's always a great guest to have on. Yeah, sound bowls and all those good things. So yeah, man, if you believe in all that stuff, then you get your calming situation happening. And with calm brings healing. So shout out to her. We'll have her there too. Appreciate that very much. What you talking about, Cisco, Brooke? You talking about thong song, Cisco? Thong. Yeah, I don't know about that.
No comment.
Pop says, thank you for another great week of shows. Have a wonderful weekend filled with many energizing naps.
That's a great way to put it. Yes.
I wish you naps. I wish you naps.
Yes.
I wish you all naps. Yep. Gwen needs to say, great show. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and shut them down right now. We appreciate the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Love that we got their Benjamin Cisco. Excuse me. Yeah. What are you? Cisco.
Star Trek Rich somewhere shaking his head, just like.
Hey man, we were talking about she just said she loved Case and Joe. I thought she talking about 90s R&B, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Cheers to you, Brooke. Cheers to you, Brooke. Benjamin Cisco. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you, and shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Appreciate everybody who's joined us. If you missed any parts of the show, please go back and check it out on Facebook and YouTube. And check out the chats on both of those platforms. When you do, please also share the show. You can share it after the fact, even. Get as many people as we can on there. And if you're on YouTube, please tell a friend. We're still looking to try to get 500 subscribers on YouTube. We're about at 300 right now. So like and subscribe, hit the bell so that when we come on, you know that we are about to fire up a brand new live discussion. appreciate everybody who's helping us do this and participating with us on this for sure. So, yep, we're doing it. Amy H. says, have a great day, y'all. Appreciate it. You have a great day too, and we will see you Monday. Yeah, it's a weekend, so have a great weekend, y'all. Take care of yourselves. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. What else is going on here?
I don't know. We forgot it was Friday though. I know that much.
I did forget it was Friday for a minute. Sure did. All right. Y'all get off my back about this Cisco thing. All right. I see how the family do. Yeah. Coming in.
Do you bad, man?
Honest mistake.
Let's get up out of here, man.
You guys have a good one. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black,